Come on over here, baby. I got something for you.
Everything has
I want something that has 2,000 IBUs and it knocks your balls off.
right, but zero malt.
Oh, yeah.
I would get some. I'd be like, whatever, you know. But the more that I began to research and, investigate and try to get down to the heart of what I was doing, I was finding out that a lot of that information was really spot on. And it was
Even though you might not like it.
Even though you might not like it. Yeah.
Noting that these are guidelines. The guidelines are the best examples of a specific category of styles, but they're not the law.
The time I finally unscrew it and I look at it and I'm like, holy crap, man. I just oxygenated this beer with propane.
Like, out of the blue. I mean, is there 5 of us here at that table that go both ways?
Well,
there's one that's
I'm an extract and an all-grain brewer, but I'm not going to...
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know why. You're kind of looking at me funny, like...
Are you my daddy?
I might be.
Are you my brother?
I know, I'm about 15 years younger, but I might be your daddy.
We had no beers in the intermission.
None.
Yeah, we hear a lot. I heard a lot about people like doing the wine enemas lately.
The butt chugging. Thought that beer was so good I tried to snorkel it through my penis.
Deals in tools.
I deal in tools, yes.
Yeah, he's the tool man.
I swing both ways and I deal in tools. So,
And the only thing it's a great time. It's a lot of fun. You can make the best beer in the world, no doubt about it.
You know, when you're developing a recipe, most likely you're not going to get it right the first time.
Exactly.
When I started home brewing, the first 3 or 4 batches that I made in college for my underage friends, my underage friends would not drink.
And just, let the floor have it this time. Just blessing the house, I guess. Or
Some
what?
for my homies.
You must have a lot of dead homies. A lot of dead homies.
Don't even know.
Is that the devil's share? You always talk about the angel's share. The devil's share is when it goes out all over the floor, right?
Whether you're a new to brewing or you're an experienced brewer, we here at Texas Brewing Inc. we're always open to listen, to talk to you, to help you evaluate some of your beers, to kind of help you understand what's going on with it. If you've got a flaw, if you're on the right track or not.
There are no bad questions.
There are no bad questions.
That's something that I really wanted to hit on as well. And then also, too, keep in mind, too, that, we do this for fun and we do it for education purposes, but we also want you to know about our homebrew store that we have here and our online store as well. So
If you have questions for us, please email us.
Yeah, definitely. We love to hear feedback, whether it be bad. We've been cussed, we've been told we're stupid, and then we've been told, that we were really cool and we really like it. We like that better.
I like being cool.
Half of those people are wrong and half of them are right. We're not going to say which is right.
Welcome back to Come and Brew It Radio, coming to you from Texas Brewing Inc. in Haltom City, Texas. You can find us on the web at txbrewing.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and share with all your friends.
in this, our 100th episode, we wanted to take a look back at what we've managed to do over the last 99 episodes since starting in 2015. Surprising as it might be, many of you are still listening to us and even more have begun. So tonight we'll take a quick look back at some of the good times and highlight moments of the show since we began. We hope you enjoy and that we can give you another 100 that are even better than the last.
Oh.
But before we get started, Stubby.
But first.
Oh.
But also.
Yeah.
But
also too.
And next.
Before we get started, please be sure to check out Patreon account to help support the show. Every little bit counts if you visit patreon.com/comeandbrewit radio. We have a variety of options for you to help keep the show going. Get involved and improve it. Plus, we'd like to thank Gabe Sassman for taking it to the next level of patronage. And we want you to know that hopefully as the release of this episode on iTunes and Stitcher, you $10 and $20 patrons will have your Come and Brew It radio shirts. Woo! Woohoo!
Awesome.
Woo! Yeah, so we took it to the next level too on that. We actually did like really nice embroidered shirts. Actually,
hell yeah.
I actually have one and it looks really awesome. But
is this the one you're wearing now?
No.
Yes, that's
not.
No, tonight he's wearing the Come and Brew It condom.
It's $30 levels.
A test batch. You have to wear it for an extended period of time to make sure that
The extended wear condom.
there's no rashes or breakouts.
Right. No, we just kind of did a little
Breakouts.
promotion for the guys that help us out and help us keep this thing going. So, we thought it would be a nice gesture in that regard. So, we still have a few of them left. So if it's really not too late. So we might be able to squeeze you into the small size that we might have left.
The stubby rubber
condom.
They only come in small.
Stubber.
So anyway, I think tonight is going to be a lot of fun because this is our 100th episode.
We have no content for you.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
no content at all.
It's just going to be a bunch of
Pure
jackassery. We're going to go over some of the highlights and stuff of the last 2 years, two and a half years actually.
2.5 years, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been doing this a long time. It's been a lot of fun, and man, it's pretty amazing. Just about 4 or 5 of us that started this thing. A couple guys just getting around, getting drunk, talking about beer has actually gone a long ways, and we got a lot of listeners out there. I don't understand why, but
Well, that's one of the things is going back and listening to some episodes to try and pull out some content for this. I thought, damn, I get tired of the sound of my voice. All of you fools.
I know,
all of us.
right?
Right.
Greg probably doesn't ever want to talk to any of us again. He's been through, 30 or 35 episodes
Greg
at least,
waves.
So.
Yeah. We're all number one. So are you, Greg. So are you.
But we've had a good run of shows with a broad variety of coverage since our first episode. And if you haven't gone and listened to the early episodes, I encourage you to go back and do it. I was kind of surprised going back and listening to them that they're not bad.
yeah, we had a few good ones, and we had some really.
We're
turds,
pretty
too.
awesome right from the start. Really,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
Yeah, we had some turds and some punch bowls and stuff, but
And some turds and punch bowls. Yeah, we'll get to that soon.
But no, thank you guys for supporting us and letting us know. We always like to hear from you guys, though. However, to give us more of your feedback. We really would like to be able to go over some of the stuff that some of you guys out there might want to hear us talk about.
We
for sure.
understand when we put out such a close to perfect product that it's very difficult to come up with any type of feedback or input for us. That
Yeah.
You just sit back and bask in the glory of the wonderful thing that this show is, and it's hard to think of anything to say other than, man, you guys are unbelievable.
Yeah, you rate yourself 10 out of 10.
Right? Yeah. Really, if you think about it.
Unbelievable.
Your Yelp reviews are
Awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do they still have Yelp? Is that still a
Yeah,
thing?
it's still around.
Okay,
I'm a food critic. You didn't know that?
Oh, really? No, they keep asking me to advertise on that shit, but I'm like, no.
He has an official badge for it too, I believe.
But I refuse to advertise on a platform that will hide your good reviews if you don't pay for them. Yeah. So anyway,
What?
I digress. So what are we gonna? What are we going to talk about, or what is kind of our first clips that we're going to talk about tonight? I know there's so many fun things that I really enjoyed, and so many different clips and different favorite guests that I've had over the years.
Well, what's occurred to me going through these and thinking about when they happened is that typically when the really good stuff happens, I don't realize it at the time. And I go back later and listen to it, or you'll text me or something like that. You got to listen to this. It was so good. And it's so much better than at the time. I'm actually a little confused and, not sure what the hell is going on. And some of the pieces that we'll play tonight, I think are perfect examples of that. I don't know if Greg has things queued up and he wants to start with anything in particular. Or...
Yeah, so it's going to be a little different for you live viewers tonight. So what we're going to have to do is actually just stop our recording. So it may take a few minutes or a few seconds or something to drop the clips in. You won't be able to hear this in the regular feed, but or the regular recorded show. So, but anyway, you'll have to give us a little. I guess you want to just go in line here with the clips, Greg. Will that work for you, or you want to just do something else?
Yeah, Greg. What do you want to do?
Yeah,
What do you want to do, Greg?
Yeah,
Sorry, Greg. I can't hear you.
Greg, you can talk to us.
Can you speak a little louder, Greg?
Oh, Greg can't talk to us. Just yell.
He can talk.
You have
talk. You
Greg, he don't have his microphone.
You have no cord. You have no cord.
Someone just forgot to plug it in.
I actually on purpose unplugged Greg's microphone.
No.
Just so he can.
Barely.
That's the thing is we'll be able to hear him, but nobody else will.
Will,
so
that's
That
correct.
always makes for good radio.
Barely.
When we're just speaking randomly
Right,
to some voice that no one
What's
else
that disembodied voice? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with some Fritz and Jared then.
Yeah, so let's
'cause-
set this clip up because I think this is
mean-
kind of a funny thing because this is
This is a really odd moment.
This
It
is
really
after
was
the
an
Dick
odd
Pumpkin,
moment.
So
It was
let's
after the
preface
Dick
it.
So
Pumpkin.
it was the first time we had Fritz Rahr on. Fritz, for those of you not in town here, Fritz is the owner of the big local brewery here in Fort Worth, Rahr and Sons, and also part of the Rahr malting family. And it was the first time we had him on, so that was a little contentious because we waited 30 some odd episodes to have him on, and he's
a good close personal friend of mine, and he kind of was a little butthurt because I'd had 3 or 4 other breweries on before him. So after he said that, though, I really strung him along even longer and longer and longer, and then I think he finally got on like the 30th episode.
Right.
Well, he goes,
And
I don't
then
want to be on your dumbass show.
So Jared was in here on that one, and we were talking about one of their beers, Bucking Bach, which is a Maibach, and I don't know, Jared, you can help us out with this one. Were you saying that it was difficult to get sometimes, that it wasn't always out every year?
I don't recall, Brandon.
Okay, all right. Well, let's listen to this clip here.
His lawyer has told him not to divulge.
I exercise my right to the Fifth Amendment.
And the settlement prevents you from speaking about it.
Let's play the clip here real quick, and then we can. And it's actually a series of clips because this progressed as the night went on. It started off as just kind of an offhand comment, and then Fritz really took issue with it, and it kind of escalated as the night went on. So I think this is going to be something like 7 or 8 different clips.
Well,
all
let's
strung
just say
together.
that I have like an ongoing, like, great relationship with Fritz Rahr. Every time I see him, I continue to like impress him, and I'm
your
always making a
jackassery?
good example of myself. So.
All right, here it goes.
Do we have video too?
No.
All right, this is really
I
good
started
radio.
getting back into it again. College years, and then it was kind of after.
I'm
Your
always making a
jackassery?
good example of myself. So.
All right, here it goes.
3, 2.
College years, and then it was kind of after college that I kind of started getting back into it again.
Well, that's really how you ended up down here in Fort Worth, correct?
Swimming?
Yeah, believe it or not, I was a swimmer. About 100 pounds ago.
I can totally tell. You look. You've got the physique, the body of a swimmer.
Thanks for looking.
So at this point, they're still friends.
Now I know why you carved that pumpkin.
I know.
Referring to the Dick Pumpkin.
I'm the pumpkin guy.
You are
Too late. You're pivot.
You're the filling in the sandwich.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
And you have plans to do other of your beers and cans too, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, we got some things coming out. I think we're gonna put Pug in a can. We're gonna put
Nobody puts
Summertime
Pug in a
Lake
can?
That'll be great for floating trips.
We're gonna put Matt Westlake in a can.
You stay away from my can.
What's that? Whoa. Hey, what about Bucking Bach? That's kind of hit or miss. That used to be one of my favorite beers back in the day. Not hit or miss, but I meant not. Oh,
Get out of here.
Dude, I said that wrong. I didn't mean to piss you off.
It's changed
No, but I
from
meant
year to year, though.
It's changed. Like it's gotten sweeter or
I
sweeter.
feel like there was love, and now there's like a little like.
But it's also it's not produced as much. Like it's something I'd like to.
At one time you.
Well, okay, back up. We took it out of the rotation last year because it's another one of those beers that takes a lot of lagering time.
Bless you.
And 2 years ago, we were really trying to push it through, and it probably came out as still a little green. So we decided we need to take it out of the rotation until we have the capacity to be able to lager it appropriately. And we did that, and we came back, we got the capacity now, and then we brought it out with cans. So it's actually been available since March, and it's still available in the stores today. So
Okay.
I'm not really sure,
Dude.
where,
Sorry.
where you're coming from.
Well, I
man.
was saying in the past years.
Yeah, Jared, we invite you over here. You
I
come
know,
in
man.
here,
I'm
you're
like,
insulted guests.
I roll in here, dude. I just start drinking beer, and I'm
Don't you have a
like,
pumpkin?
hey, what about Bucking Bach?
Don't you have a pumpkin to carve?
No, but I'm just the last couple of years. Y'all just brought it back, though, right?
Yeah, it was just brought back.
And it's gonna be we'll
But it's nice. Yeah, so this one took the bronze last year, gold this year. Again, it's nice to follow up. It is a really, really, really rich, nice Doppelbock.
Mm-hmm. That is good. That is.
I've always loved this beer.
Is this not one of the ones you think is hit or miss?
No.
Well, he's just glad to have a bomber that he can drink a case of and catch a buzz.
Is he still here?
Yeah, right. Wait, I'm over here on the third mic down here.
You were there carving on your pumpkin?
No, yeah, I've always enjoyed this beer. It's just a style I like.
Trying to save face.
And that's why I enjoyed the Bucking Bach.
Well, we all did kind of throw him under the bus there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was looking at me? Were you looking at me, Fritz?
Everybody.
I'm never looking at you. I'm never going to look at you again.
I'm the buffer.
We try to take advantage of the time there's low light in the room to use that time to look at you. So when we're out.
Boy, you guys did throw him under the bus there.
Dogpile on him, right?
I know.
I
can't hear all of it, so I'm thankful.
How many years have you been
made
brewing
so many sexual references
okay, Chris.
to all of that. I was Beavis and Butthead.
Who was looking at me? Were you looking at me, Fritz?
Everybody. I'm never looking at you. I'm never going to look at you again.
I'm never going to look at you again.
I'm the buffer.
We try to take advantage of the time there's low light in the room to use that time to look at you. So when
I feel like a little bit of deja vu.
there's full lighting, we can.
It's looping.
No, do you know what I was doing? I was admiring the lampshade lights that we had.
Yeah,
out here,
loop.
and I was like,
Loop.
it's not as dark as it usually is. And then I was like,
You know what you miss in that entire clip is that Matt Westlake is totally fanboying.
Yeah.
well, and me too. You know,
I mean,
that was the first time that we had him on, and I've always been a huge fan of ours, so I kind of fanboyed out a little bit too.
Not as bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
I mean,
you
I'll
know,
give you
Jared didn't have any problem with being a
Yeah.
fanboy. You know, your beer's kind of hit or miss. You know,
Hey, I just said what you guys were thinking, okay?
No, actually, it was pointed out to me later on that I think what you were trying to say was that you couldn't always get that beer.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
That's not how.
But you had a few beers, I think.
Well,
by that
but
point.
you said hit or miss.
Right.
I mean,
like
It was a poor choice of words.
Sometimes
it's hit or
like
miss
at a
seeing it
store,
in the
sometimes
store.
it's
I
not.
get it.
At the
but-
store I go to, sometimes it's hit or miss if I can find it. That's
But
maybe what
your
you should
beer
have
is
said.
hit or miss.
Yeah, your beer's kind of sometimes here and
And then
sometimes
really-
not so much.
Westlake and I just threw him under the bus and just dogpiled on him and
The bus was
fanned the flames. Yeah, yeah.
I think what everybody's missing too is
What was
like
that
the whole
sound?
pumpkin talk and like
Yeah.
what we were all doing the night before. And
That was
your
actually my
wasn't it?
birthday,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
your birthday. Yeah.
Tell,
It was your
tell
birthday today.
everybody
That
what
was
you
2
were
years
doing the
ago.
night before.
Yeah. But yeah, we had
Well,
a
Jared-
pumpkin carving contest.
Yeah.
Well, we were at a
Yeah.
bar, okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't. No,
So
personally.
the
but
bar had
You
a
were part
pumpkin,
of
we
one.
participated.
pumpkin
in it.
carving contest.
Jared participated in
Yes.
one.
He got second place.
Yeah, what did you,
Actually, it was third place.
what did
Was
you
it
ca-
third
what did you-
place?
what did you carve, Jared?
Carved a dick and a pumpkin. I mean, what
Did
else
you-
would
did
you
you-
carve
did
in a
you eat
pumpkin
that
at a
dick?
bar? What?
Did you eat that dick?
Oh,
Made it out-
Why'd
made
you
it
have
into
to
a
go
pie.
there?
It just made it really awkward in here. all
no,
of a sudden.
you know what's funny was so we carved the pumpkin and it was like a big schlong and a pumpkin and then Adam comes up and he grabs like the actual cutout and he goes up to the bartender and he goes, "Hey, I want to turn in my pumpkin," and the bartender just like looked at him with like this like bad look and just grabbed it and like threw it in the trash can.
She grabbed it with some meanness.
Yeah.
Grab the penis with some meanness.
But no, these are some of the fun stories that we get to, be able to participate in and be a part of, and the camaraderie I think with the show has been a lot of fun doing this stuff, and I never anticipated when we started this that we'd make it to 100 episodes, and these are just some of the fun stuff. There's lots of stuff you can learn from, but
Lots of stuff.
Yeah, we have lots of stuff you can learn from.
Stuff and things.
Plenty of lots of
Stuffs
stuff.
and
Plenty of
things.
stuffs and
Also
lots
too.
of learns.
Stuffs of things.
Stuffs.
We'll learn you here, damn it. We'll learn you here, damn it.
We're going to take we're all cut off.
But these are. I think one of the things that maybe separates us from other people whether you like it or not.
Wait. Where are you going
there
with
other
this,
people
man?
who do this?
Where are you going with this?
Well, I'm just saying that what separates us is we try to have a little lightheartedness about it and not be just
Stuffy.
stick in the mud or stuffy.
Well, I think
or-
of it kind of like a brew day. Even though we're all really serious about brewing in terms of wanting to be good at it and know all the details and everything, I never have a brew day where it's somber and scientific. It's always you always want it to be fun. So,
Right.
Scientific.
So you start drinking before you get the boil, huh?
Oh yeah, no, that's
Drink during the mash.
Yeah, you drink during the mash for sure.
Yeah,
for
That's
sure.
always a fun.
And then
day.
you miss the boil completely.
It's a metaphor for life, really.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the boil. Drink during the mash.
Right. There was one time I'll never forget this. A buddy of mine came up from Austin and he really wanted to learn how to brew, and it was we had drank a lot before we actually started brewing, and we're sitting there and I wasn't paying any attention, and I guess it was about 10, 11 o'clock at night, and we're blasted, and I look up. And I guess I wasn't watching my sparge versus, because I was doing a fly sparge, and I wasn't watching my mash water, and I looked over, and I mean, we'd been working on this damn thing all day, because I believe I had some problems with my hot water heating element, and I had to go to the store and put a new one in, but anyway, long story short, I look up, and it's about, 11, 12 o'clock at night, and we're 3 sheets, and I look up and the mash tun's running over. Just grain and wort and all the
Everything.
shit. Yeah,
Classic
when I was doing
Stubby.
a sparge, So
James Harrington and I did
I
that
just
in
turned
the
the
middle of
son
the
bitch
street
off.
in front of Zio Carlos at Open
Over
the
the
Streets. Yeah, James gets talking to people, and the next thing you know, we haven't been paying attention, and it's just overflowing mash all over the street. And it was a milk stout with a ton of roasted malted, so it's just dark,
Nice.
sticky liquid all over the place. It was great.
That's funny. Well, and that's kind of, if you guys listen to that intro, do we have that? Do we have any of those clips from brewing mishaps or anything? Or we don't have that, do we? Okay.
Probably
It was in
not.
the intro, I believe, when it talked about oxygenated stuff with propane. Yeah,
The propane.
To this day, every time I hear that story, I don't know how the hell you did that.
had a few beers.
Yeah, I was
man.
going to say, you definitely started drinking during the mash on that one. If you threaded a left-hand thread onto a right-hand bottle and never thought, there must be something wrong with this. I don't think I'm
Well,
doing
there's
this
something wrong with it. You couldn't get it on.
You know what's funny is
You'd
this
been
must have
hitting that single malt, hadn't you?
It must have been an old bottle because it was red. So I just assumed it was oxygen, But I guess back in the old days they had red propane.
Yeah, maybe
bottles,
before
I don't
they
know.
started having several different things. In
Like
that
people
size
blowing
bottle.
stuff up and
Because they have yellows, MAP gas, blues, propane, and then you have
Red is
oxygen.
yeah.
But
Orange is
but
mustard
the
gas.
oxygen always has a left-hand thread on it. The other two don't.
I
So
know,
you
I couldn't
threaded a
figure-
left-hand thread onto a right-hand
yeah,
thread.
it's probably boogered up, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A lot of Teflon tape.
Well, it
Torque the
actually,
spec or
it
cross-threaded
actually,
tape's tight.
took a little bit of getting. I mean,
I would think
had
so,
to,
yeah.
I had to kind of push it down and hold it on and then turn it on.
I just picture you over there with like a mallet or something.
But let me tell you, I stuck my nose in it. That's when I knew that I'd
You just
actually.
put your nose in it.
That's when I actually knew there was a problem there.
Lucky you
because,
didn't blow yourself up.
So I stuck my nose down in the cardboard to kind of smell it, and I was like, "Ooh, what the hell is wrong with this shit?" My dad's like, "Don't light a match! Don't light a match!"
You're like, where are the mashes?
I know. Damn, I was just gonna light a match.
well, apparently the beer turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it turned out great. We blew the. I mean, so what we did
Blew
is
through it.
I actually went and found a oxygen stone or oxygen tank, and then I did it for
Tried
like
to
4
purge
or
it?
5 minutes.
Tried to purge
I
it?
figured it would scrub it, But hey, it turned out to be one of the best beers you ever brewed. So
Hardly
maybe
any
there's something
birthday
to
facts.
that. You just purge it with propane.
No more oxygenation.
He won a
Propane
Stein
in
with
it.
that, didn't he?
So if you actually we don't advise you to ever put propane in your beer. I'm just saying we don't want to take any responsibility for you trying that when you go out. Don't
But
put
it may
propane
or
in your
may
beer.
not work.
That's totally hipster. That's like totally hipster.
It's a new way to get to the boil
Well,
immediately. Yeah.
Spoils
but
from the inside out.
Would that be Ohio River beer?
Ohio River beer. Oh yeah, what is it? I thought that was in Flint, Michigan.
Oh, that too.
That's the recent one. I'm thinking of the one that my dad
places,
used to tell me about as an environmental engineer at the river that burned in Pennsylvania and Ohio.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So this next one here is one I've been wanting to get to. I'm glad we're going to go back to this. This
it involves you
with Arkansas
and his many jokes.
No, see, that's the thing. Go ahead. Let's just play this. Greg, do you have this ready to go? Don't put your finger up at me.
He has to stop recording.
No, I know.
And then drop
so,
the clip in.
So you can't hear any of this?
It's live, but it's not going to be on the recorded version.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't explain it until after the clip.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so here comes the clip.
In just a minute.
Or two.
Yes, Tracy. That's the tip, and just the tip.
As soon as Greg lowers his finger.
Are you going to pick up the check?
Okay,
Just
here we
the
go.
tip.
Here we go.
It is kind of disturbing. There's probably a movie with that name somewhere.
All right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
My cranberry cream ale.
Your cranberry cream ale.
I just like throw a little, some cranberries in a cream ale and gotta mash them up a little bit. And
macerate.
It always kicks off secondary fermentation.
You know, my mom always thinks that she's cooking for 87 people on Thanksgiving. So when she goes to make cranberry sauce, I've got several bags of cranberries left over. So I actually have like 3 or 4 pounds of cranberries in my house.
Just beat the piss out of them. Beat the piss out of them in the bag. And
how do you prepare them? Do you freeze them first and then macerate them, or do you
freeze them? Yeah, I freeze them
okay, that's kind of
take care of the bugs. Yeah, and I just beat the crap out of them with the I don't know.
Keep saying that.
Meat cleaver? No, it's not a meat cleaver.
Tenderizer.
And you're like, take that, Dad. Thanks a lot for not coming to. Oh, sorry.
Thanks.
No, I just beat it with a meat tenderizer, if you will.
But you do it after you've frozen them, though, right?
If you will.
Yeah,
it just kind of.
This isn't the clip I thought it was going to
Make
be.
sure you break the membrane on them. Because if you don't, then you're not going to get anything out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just going to be a bunch of floating cranberries.
So have you been like freezing them, thawing them, and then macerating, or do
I do kind of
freeze them and
semi-thaw
then
them
break them?
before I throw them in. But what's weird is like the membrane. It kind of like once all of the fermentable stuff comes out of the cranberries, it looks like fish eyes. It's a really weird floaty thingy on top. Yeah, but
does it turn white like raspberries or blackberries?
it does.
too?
Yeah.
Okay.
The membrane. Yeah, you have the membrane shell. But all the fermentable fruit and all that comes like it leaches out of it basically. So you just have like a bunch of shell, kind of like I don't know, paintball gun shells. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like floating on top of the beer. But
That's weird. That's
it is
disturbing.
Do you feel like there's a pretty big sugar contribution from those? I mean, we know them for being tart, but I mean, there's got to
I
be.
know
a
it
fair amount
does
of
kick
sugar
off
in them.
fermentation.
It does.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
Do you get a lot of color from those?
No,
No?
not at all.
Not from the skin at all?
No, it's pretty much the same color as a cream ale.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do you get a lot of flavor then?
Cranberry cream
How
ale.
many pounds are you putting into
Do you
5 gallon
successfully
I put
cover
about-
up the cream ale flavor?
Right. Yeah,
Chris,
I'm
like-
fond of a nice cream ale.
Cream ale's a good cream.
I
ale's
love
great.
cream ales. Yeah,
I'm still more interested in how you beat them.
yeah. With a tenderizer.
Vigorously.
Right. Yeah, vigorously. Yeah. I beat him about my face and neck.
Chest area. Right.
He disappears in the bathroom for about 30 minutes. The faucet's running.
Here I am.
Comes back, he's all red.
Jimmy, you've been washing your hands for a long time.
But that's a
Shut up.
That's a good
beating my
alternative though, to like to the dark raisiny kind of Christmas beers you can make or holiday beers. You know, something light, something everybody can enjoy. Especially grandma, you know, you want to feed her something like a doppelbock or something. You know, you want to give her something.
Hell yeah, that's funny.
I don't know. I like getting old. I like getting old people
You want
drunk.
grandma to get you want
Give
grandma
her
to
a-
get drunk, but
Give her a doppelbock and watch her twidget in the corner over there. Just man.
Of course, that could be a double-edged sword. You end up listening to Grandma tell you about how she got fingered in the movie theater one time, and you're like, Grandma, would you just stop it?
That's not gonna happen with the cream ale.
Cream ale, you're safe. You do something like an imperial stout or something like that. You never know what Grandma's coming out with. To get these two that I brought.
Oh my God!
I don't remember.
Travels a lot, so
Actually, the
we're
3 of
pulling
them that I
in.
brought. The Big Rick also. All 3 of those are just Kansas. So It's the
Way to ruin it, Brandon.
It's kind of the reparations that they pay you for being in Kansas.
And I believe this. I've been in Kansas, and I believe this. So sorry, Kansians.
No, I say that I actually really like Kansas. I don't know why I'm saying that.
Kansasonians, I think is what it is.
Kansas is a weird place. I remember driving in from Colorado and just thinking, man, it all looks the damn same.
There's not a lot there. There's not a lot
Is it
there.
like Arkansas?
Arkansas is actually vastly different.
It's more there.
Where men are men.
There are
and
many
sheep are
more
scared.
trees. Actually, that's the
And
main
mountains,
thing. And mountains, yeah. Terrain.
You need the trees so the people can hide behind them, and you'll still feel safe going there. Because once you meet the people, you're like, I gotta get out of here, dude.
You're gonna want to hide.
I want to argue with you.
Well, until they give you their beer.
Where the men are men and the sheep are scared.
Pretty much all of our listeners are from there. So
Yeah.
All of our listeners are from Arkansas.
94%.
94%.
Brandon's address is
Think about what pairs well with that versus just, oh, it's cold out, I just want a big, heavy beer. And those are just kind of two different scenarios that
That's a good
just
point.
doesn't
That is a good
exist
point,
outside of this
Never
month.
thought about that, yeah.
good point, Austin.
So what goes well, not just enjoying a good beer, but what pairs well with that food, especially non-beer drinking folk are probably going to turn their nose up. Oh, a beer with a meal. Oh, whatever. No, you drink wine with a good meal.
Right.
Well, yeah, but not necessarily.
I kick those
You
people
can
out of my house.
absolutely-
There's nothing wrong with the wine.
Most of
but
my family drinks
wine and
Ripple.
beer, same level. Come on, people.
Ripple.
Yeah, they
So
drink Ripple.
kind of take it as a learning Take it a learning
Never get
experience.
enough.
You brewed a beer specifically to kind of pair with that meal. Everybody has
Guns N' Roses
your
reference?
Christmas goose, Christmas turkey. Cranberry typically is more Thanksgiving.
There is a wider range,
I've
like a
never
wide
seen a
array
goose in
of
Texas,
flavors
actually.
with
it's
this
not
beer.
Mad Dog goes well with,
Mad Dog 2020.
That's right.
Wild.
Stubby's
Goes
all on
great
board
with
with a
your-
mad dog.
Goes great with your Christmas spam.
So,
Christmas spam with some
Wildberry
Cheetos and a little bit of mad
Merry
dog.
Christmas,
Wildberry
everybody.
So it can take a little bit of planning. You got to do it kind of a few weeks out. But if you know what your family typically eats, or you just even ask around, or just
Four Loko and corn dog.
that's a
Is it, wait. Is it watermelon for Loco?
It's grape, sucker. Grape. It's purple.
Yeah, just try the watermelon. You'll agree with me.
Okay.
Blue Raz.
About how horrible it is. I mean,
for Loco.
I want to go to that Thanksgiving dinner, actually. I just want to see it. I want to see a Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner with Four Loco
It
as
goes
the
all
main
night, brother.
beverage on the table.
I think
We're just going to fill a punch bowl with Four Loco flavors.
So this is a recurring theme.
We covered a lot of ground in that
clip.
one.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
But the fingering grandma in the movie theater, dude, that was over the top, bro. I don't even remember
How did we
that.
go from grandma fidgeting in the corner to fingering grandma in the movie theater?
Well, I got to say that when I ran across that clip, I was surprised as well. I didn't remember it either. Oh, here's your...
Put your hand down. Jesus.
Were you drunk?
What's going
You
on?
just
We're
filled my
never
cup
drunk.
for me.
This is my cup.
Never.
We never
I
drink too much.
Handed you an empty one.
Right. And so I was kind of surprised by that one as well. But I want to go back to the Arkansas one because that's pretty much the extent of my bagging on Arkansas.
Oh, come on. It was multiple episodes.
No.
It was not
there are multiple
multiple
episodes, and there
It
are
was
multiple
not.
baggings.
It was pretty much
of
one
on.
episode. I
Pretty
maybe
much
brought
one.
it up one or two more times during that episode, but that was about it. And then y'all ran with it. Y'all got carried away with it, and,
That's what we do.
blame me every time. And I get the reputation. I get people coming up to me at Blue Bonnet. You're the guy that hates Arkansas, aren't you?
Dude, own it.
I had a guy come in and one day in the shop and he goes, "Hey, where's that guy that talks shit about Arkansas?" And I'm like, he just left.
He's in Arkansas right now.
No, but that was a funny episode. But
I've actually defended Arkansas on many occasions.
Yes,
I've
yeah.
brought in their beer and
Keep
talked about some
backpedaling.
breweries I
But
really
I think you
like.
bagged on them more.
No,
Hey, no take
you're
backs,
wrong about that.
Brandon.
you said jokes like the toothbrush was invented in Arkansas.
You did say that. I didn't
yeah.
say that. No,
because anywhere else.
You know
it'd be
why
the
I didn't
teeth
say
brush.
that? Because that joke is so old, and I've heard it so many
right.
times. I would never.
I've
recycle
never heard that anywhere else except from you.
You're so full of crap.
You're the one I heard that joke from.
Exactly.
I've never heard that joke before, actually.
I liked Arkansas until, well, yeah.
So anyway, what we got with this next clip, I think is pretty funny because it's one of my favorites because, and it may not be as funny to everybody else because
that's the thing is you got to kind of
we got to set this guy set this clip up a little bit because
you just have to know Johnny.
Johnny Red is a musician by trade, and he's been he's a
really outstanding blues guitarist.
Yeah, blues guitarist, singer. He's been around since the 70s and stuff, and he teaches guitar lessons. 2 or 3 times a week, I think, or 2 or 3 days a week.
He's been around since a lot before the 70s.
He told me earlier that
he's like really old.
Started out playing classic rock when it was top 40s.
Yeah, I think he started collecting Social Security in the 70s, actually.
Hey, under an assumed name, yeah.
Hey, we could bag on him because he doesn't listen to podcasts.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell, I don't think he knows what a podcast is.
He was on one.
Did he know he wasn't on the radio?
So anyway, we have customer service problems sometimes. People don't understand him quite. I mean, he actually he truly really is passionate about what I mean. He's really passionate about home brewing. He really does.
A really stellar brewer,
Yeah,
absolutely outstanding brewer, and a really nice guy.
But sometimes he comes across as the grumpy old man.
Yeah. Well, he is in fact the grumpy old man.
He is the grumpy.
He's one of the two. Grumpy old man.
Yeah, one of the two.
But
and he's a little hard of hearing.
Anyway,
so
but I've had people tell me they're off-putted by him at first, and then they decide they like him after the fact. After they get to know who he is. So
well, Johnny and I had to bump heads before until we really started getting along. He and I had to kind of go at it a little bit, and then we liked each other after that. So that's kind of just how he is, I think.
Did you kissed and made out?
We did.
You put him in the corner.
Made up.
So anyway,
I gave him a back rub. He gave me a front rub.
Then you kicked him in the front butt.
I gave him a prison hug, and it was all okay.
Front butt.
That was another episode. I don't know if it made it on here. The front butt episode.
Yeah. Well, the problem was nobody knew what we were talking about.
Well, we talked about the joke, what it was.
We really didn't. We just kept saying front butt over and over again on the episode, and we were laughing like idiots. And
talking
we
about,
never do.
Twisting your
let's
dirty
get to
pillows.
this Johnny Red clip because Johnny Red does not suffer fools lightly, and we were all fools on this episode, and he just about had it with us. Is what it was. In fact, I wasn't on this one actually.
I wasn't on it. I'm
he
very
had
sad that I
he had had it with our crap.
I was jacking with him.
Well, and the thing, the funny thing is the one of the things that I can tell you just by listening to these clips that we've gotten a lot better about not talking over each other.
Yeah,
that still happens, no doubt about it. But we definitely gotten a lot better. So.
I think we can all agree that it's Mikey's fault.
Is that why it's gotten better? Because Mikey didn't show up as much?
Mikey's always here, really.
Or is that Brad? Wait, what's
Brad? Who's Brad?
God damn it,
Who's
Brad.
Frank?
Brad.
Frank's new.
Frank.
Frank. I'm new.
Frank. Yeah. All right.
So let's get on with the clip here.
So let's set this clip up a little bit. So what Johnny did before he bought a Grainfather is he would actually do overnight mashes.
Hey, Brandon, what's
So
the time on that?
if you actually want to listen to
Before we mentioned Grainfather.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. We went a while actually.
So what he did was he wanted to shorten his brew day. So we had him on the episode to talk about his brewing technique, which is kind of different. So if you ever want to go back and listen to this episode, I think it's kind of a neat deal. And he was turning out stellar beers with this method. Just basically, he was taking his mash, putting it up on the stove and stirring it until it got to, I don't know, the right temperature, right? And then stuck it in the oven overnight, and then the next morning sparged it, right?
Yeah, he just he would set the oven on like
preheat or something,
like 200 or
preheat,
something like that, and then just turn it off just so it was warm in there, and it would kind of hold it for hours.
And then in that way, he kind of felt like he separated the brew day, so it went so long. So it was kind of a neat method, and he was turning out some. I mean, he was killing it at Blue Bonnet with that method.
I have never had a bad beer from Johnny.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I have to.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
So let's play the clip here because this kind of encapsulates Johnny's personality all in one little clip.
Where is that freaking? I hear shit in the background. Where's it coming from?
Yeah, I hear it too.
Mikey.
Oh, it's on. Actually, it's on my iPad.
It's you. Oh my God. Oh man.
I thought
Not
it was
me.
Greg playing it on the monitor and they're queuing things up.
That's what I thought too.
On overnight mash, and he gets complete efficiency out of that. Johnny, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. Go, Johnny, go.
It's called the old man mash.
Go, Johnny. Go, Johnny, go.
Well, the reason I even started the process of doing the overnight mash is because, for time's sake,
You were just lazy?
It wasn't for Pete's sake?
It probably could have been.
It could have been for Pete's sake, but in this case,
Pete
it
was never there. So anyway,
it's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, Johnny. This is the way.
Go ahead, Johnny. You have the floor.
Yeah, right.
Well, we'll give you the table.
Yeah.
I like the table.
Okay.
All right, never mind that. How about just a beer?
Well, how about
Would you like
me
a beer?
explaining to you why I even started doing the overnight
You
mash?
can smack him.
And that
He's
was
sitting right next to you.
that was
sir.
for time's sake.
For time's
So at the time, I was working at teaching guitar full time, and usually I would go in to start teaching around 3:30 or 4. So I needed to be done, but I wanted to be sure because the mash is so important.
Right.
I wanted to be doubly sure that the mashing process was done efficiently and correctly.
Sure.
So I would do it in the evening, and I would heat up my sparge water. Not my sparge water, my strike water.
Right.
Pour in the grain, and preheat my oven for about 200 degrees.
You put this stuff in the oven?
Exactly.
He's getting there.
I'm getting there, but you're
Right.
jumping ahead.
You're ruining the story, Pete. Come on.
I'm just trying to.
So what I would do,
wrap my
Pete,
head around it.
What's
yeah,
an oven?
I'm gonna wrap your head around it.
What's an oven?
So what I would do is once I stabilize the spag.
The spag?
The spag?
Is that like badge?
Is that the spag water or what?
This is just because it's Johnny's first night. Everybody
Radio virgin.
Let him tell him. Let him talk about it.
Okay, I think we popped his cherry. Please continue.
Don't make me get naked.
He's already halfway there.
I will get naked if you keep this up.
So, no, you were in the part where you're spagging?
Please continue with the spagging process.
Okay, you're heating up your strike water the night before. Oh, the giggles.
A bunch of wheezing. All right. Okay.
Y'all really give a shit about it? Well, then shut the
The spatch.
They say 152.
Yes.
I put the lid on the top and I shove it into the oven. I turn the oven off. And I quit it.
And you leave it.
And I've done some tests and actually holds the different. 150. For at least 2 hours.
No, what temp is it? Like
152.
152. So you
And
need
so,
to go to
so over the 9 hours, it drops down to about 135 degrees. In the morning, I get up, put my underwear back on. I was butt naked. And I go into the kitchen and I pull the mash out of the oven, reheat it on the burner, and get it up to 170. Preheat the oven at 200 again. And I get it up to 170. Put it back into the preheated oven. Turn the burner off. And what that does is it allows the mash to stabilize at 168 to 170 for about 20 or 30 minutes while I'm going out to the garage to heat up the sparge water.
So basically, you're mashing out on top of the stove top.
And that's one of the things that Stubby wanted me to hit on was mashing out. It's so important.
Stop
Because you want to,
conversion.
you want to stop enzymatic conversion, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Where did you come up with this process? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I was laying in bed naked one night.
Naked or about
He is almost always.
I shove it in the oven, then I go to bed.
You kind of want to picture him with like a one of those baker's aprons on.
Just a
and
shell.
Anything, dude. I don't know what
Don't put that in the oven, please. My butt hanging out, of course.
Yeah, naked.
That's pretty hot.
That's a beanie butt.
No, but really, where'd you come up with that? 'Cause that's a very interesting process. There's a lot going on there.
It all came to me in a dream. I don't know. It just came to me.
Well, I mean, it's been working though. That's the main thing. Is like.
That was fun, dude. That was
Shove it in.
It was so funny because you could tell he was still really irritated, and he goes, "I want to shove it in."
Well, you know what he did to make himself feel better. Let's talk about being naked a lot.
Yeah.
You could tell that was all just to calm him down. He just loves to tell people about being naked.
Yeah, Johnny's an interesting character, man. What
And
was
his
it? What was it? What was it?
Greg.
Greg. What was he? Went over there and
It's
he
Greg.
He would.
Greg.
This guy saves
Greg.
everything, dude.
Greg.
I mean, just like
Greg.
He's very resourceful, I guess you would say. Pack rat. But what was he? He was like took the bands off of his damn underwear. Yeah, off his tidy whities, and was using them to hold the insulation on his mash tun.
What? Yeah, really?
He said, "Well, I'll rip my drawers, and I'll take the band
How
off."
many times did the guy rip his underwear? How many times have you ever ripped your underwear in your life? Now, granted, he's lived
Never?
2 or 3 lifetimes. He probably has had longer to... But I think a lot of the time in his life that tidy whities didn't exist. It was...
Togas.
It was a gunny sack or something. You cut a couple
Burlap
holes in.
bag.
Yeah, burlap bag.
Yeah.
It was
A couple holes in.
Yeah.
Fig leaf. Oh man! So Johnny, he's a funny character, man. So if you ever have him, just realize if if you run into a grumpy old man, he's really a grumpy old man. But you'll love to love his grumpiness, sorta. Anyway, but we also have our resident Brit,
Our Australian.
Australian, yeah, whatever, a Kiwi, whatever.
Nuggle.
But anyway, Nigel came into the shop I guess once upon a time, and he really got interested in homebrewing because he wanted to brew English beers that he remembered from home. So he's been a integral part of the show and also the homebrew store for sure. So he works quite often. So.
He's really gone through a lot of effort and expense to bring us back all kinds of beers and come on here and did put a lot of work into researching how they're brewed and talk to us about what they're like.
He's going
over
back
there.
in December, so let's be really nice.
I'm always
tonight.
nice to Nigel. Y'all are kind of dicks. But
Back to Australia, right?
Yes, he's going back to Australia to bring us some British beer.
He's bringing us
phenomenal
Botany
beers
Bay.
back.
Australian for beer.
Jesus.
No, but he's brought. I mean, my God, dude, think about the beers that he's brought us, and he's shared them with us. So that's one of the things that's really cool.
Also, really giving us an insight into what the beer culture is like over there in general in terms of growing up. Drinking beer over there, drinking shandies and that kind of thing. And
I think he told me he drank like 20 Basses a day or something like that.
No, it was 20 shandies a day. That was last Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And licked 20 asses a day.
I'm surprised he's not commenting and watching.
Oh, man.
I heard he used to smoke fags.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because this next clip is a little bit of an exchange with you, I think, on that exact subject, if I'm not mistaken. So
it never gets old.
Oh,
right?
it got cut out. Actually, he said
it got cut out.
Are you serious?
Wasn't family friendly enough?
Either shove it in the oven and shut the fuck up.
So there's no Nigel clip?
Yeah, there's a Nigel clip.
Oh, okay.
We're going to listen to
the
Nigel.
part we're talking about. Oh, okay, never mind.
He does have very thick skin, though, because I just can't help myself but talk like an Englishman when he's around.
Yeah, and you're the first person to ever think of that, too.
I know, right?
I feel sorry for the poor guy around our 4th of July parties, man, because he gets nothing but shit.
Right, well, we are about to hear a little bit of that. So.
All right, so here's the clip with Nigel.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, Greg. Anytime, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Whenever you're ready.
Sometime tonight, Greg.
Cue clip.
And
Cue
go.
clip.
And roll.
And right now.
Roll film.
Ready now.
And
3, 2,
go.
1.
Well, you know what I'd like to know, because I have an English friend who always comes over, and whenever she drinks my beer, she always puts 7-Up in it, makes a shandy with it, which drives me absolutely up a wall.
Yeah, shouldn't be allowed.
But that's how I learned that
Unless
when
you're
they
16.
say, when they, you know, over here we talk about making it
16.
Over wow, that threw me off.
Look, he's red. Something's going on here.
You know what? I actually didn't think about it that way.
No.
But yeah.
But that's when I learned that when they say lemonade, you know, you're talking about 7-Up, because here people hear that and they're making shandies with lemonade here in America. So then I asked her, okay, well, if 7-Up is lemonade, then what do you call lemonade? She says, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? And then I asked her, if a cookie is a biscuit, then what do you call a biscuit? And, well, I don't know. And I don't understand. So hopefully you can clear that up for us by the end of the night.
Go back to England. Fries or chips, or what are chips? No, wait, they're crisps.
The short answer I give to most people is, hey, we invented it.
But we won the war. I knew that was going to come up once or twice.
What, we had 30 minutes here?
And this is another beer that's changed over the years. It used to be a much more potent beer, much more volatile, if you like, much more have much more longer after effects, if you like. Green King.
What does that mean, like face down in the gutter?
And Jared can talk all about that, I know.
Right.
Right.
It's not so much the face down.
The Peterborough Beer Festival especially focuses on small breweries, microbreweries, village breweries, things like that. So the whole beer festival is full of beer from smaller breweries, and it's a great representation.
So they still have villages over in England?
Yes.
Like little aborigines or something?
I think Nigel might have a stiffy.
Oh, yeah?
Was it that obvious?
Very good.
I would disagree with that, because I'll tell you, I've brewed London Pride clone a bazillion times with extract, and there's a huge difference between getting Breeze Golden extract and using the Muntins. There's a big difference,
okay.
man.
All right, that's good input.
I mean, really, you get a big difference in the flavor. The ones I've done with the Breeze Golden, they just don't taste as good as the Muntins.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good information. Thanks, Stubby. For whatever that's worth. I mean, what do you know about beer?
No one is safe.
Chippy is
No one is safe.
Yeah.
So we missed. Are we recording again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we missed the second part of that clip there when Jared was asking about villages, and he says, "Yeah, we still have village idiots too." And so it was.
That's right.
When I listen to that one, I always think, when Nigel's around here, I always think, why do you even hang out with us, man? I don't get it, because it's 8 idiots in a room that all think that they're the first ones to think of, we won the war, and hey, Crocky, I think you're an Australian, and he sits around and puts up with that shit all the time, and comes right back at us, just like the village idiot comment, and then goes to England and brings a suitcase of fantastic beer back for us and brings it to drink on the show.
Right,
so
That's to remind us that he is in fact better than us.
Oh, he just joined.
Brings
so
back lots of Fosters.
His ears were burning tremendously.
So hats off to Nigel for putting up with our shit and still bringing us great beer.
You know, it's
Crikey's,
funny.
mate.
You know what's funny is I ran into like an English lady the other day. Well, like probably like a month ago, and
Ran into her, was stalking.
Just
stalking her.
It just came out of me, you know, like you sound like you're from London, like. and it just really went south from there.
You know, my dumbass, I was in Vegas and I was kind of drunk, getting on the elevator, going back up to my room, and there was some fish and chips restaurant or something down by my hotel or whatever, and this lady had the fish and chips and stand in the elevator. I said, "How were they?" And she said they were pretty good, and she had an accent. And I said, "Oh, I guess you'd have a pretty qualified opinion." And she says, "Well, actually, I'm Australian." And I said that I'm a huge asshole, and I'm going to blame it on all the beer that I drank.
Hey, but was it me or did Nigel sound like he had a stronger English accent in that clip than he does now?
No, it's you.
We're converting him a little bit.
Yeah,
it's you.
It's
I mean, he drives a big truck. I mean, he's
he's driving a big old Dodge pickup, now.
And he works for a construction company that sells giant Texan toys.
I'm surprised he doesn't chew on straw and wear a cowboy hat.
He does, actually.
You've never been to a brew day with Nigel?
You see, this is what I'm talking about. And the dude still hangs around and brings us beer from England.
Oh man! So I thought that was a funny little clip, and so we got Pete here tonight, and Pete, you're one of my favorite characters on the shows. He's always doing some you just dropped a bomb,
dumb
dude.
shit,
just brilliance, absolute brilliance. Flashes of light.
So this next one we're going to get into here is a perfect example for me of, at the time, I was like, what the hell is going on? I don't know. And then went back and listened to it later and thought, that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And
I still listen to it and go, what the hell's going on?
Dude,
there's still that element of it, yeah.
I still cry every time. I mean, I cry, I laugh so hard every single time I listen to this. Because I think it is absolutely hilarious.
This was right towards the New Year's or something. I had my friends from California in visiting. I said, hey, come on into the podcast with me. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
and so they're sitting over on the couch listening to this that we're about to play and what happened. And I thought, oh my God, what are these people?
They were here?
Well, let me set this up too, because back in the old days when we would record, we didn't do live stuff and we were really terrible. It might take us actually 30 minutes to do the intro.
Yeah.
So we would just stop, and because we weren't doing it live, so we didn't have to be perfect.
Or even good.
So we would
We're still like that.
Literally, I know there's been many times that it would take us 30 minutes to do the intro or longer.
Yeah.
And so when this was going on, I just kept it rolling on the tape. And
I really thought that we had stopped and we were going to go back and do it again like we always did. Because why would you leave this in,
Yeah. And so anyway, I think this was a flash of brilliance, because to me this kind of reminds me of like the Who's on First, skit. But this is no bullshit. There's no setup for this. There was no no pre-plan in any way. The only thing
I don't know that you could plan this.
And so I went back and added some funny music in post, and but anyway, and then we later on in that same episode, I don't know, is that what's on the episode, this and the ponchos thing and the pet monkey? Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 from this particular episode, which I think is absolute golden. This is one of my favorite episodes. But anyway, here's the clip.
Roll clip.
And 3, 2, 1.
Action.
Today, Junior.
Hey, we've got a guest. We've got a guest tonight. It's Medieval Pete. Medieval Pete, come on in. Sit down.
Come on, Pete.
Sit down, Pete.
Hold on. We got
have a song for him.
Hold on.
Really got to.
Do we have his Merry Minstrels?
Yeah, we got to really. No, here he comes. I can hear you coming.
Medieval Pete.
Wait, hold on. His robes are kind of getting in the way. I think he might stumble a little bit. He's got a lot of books.
Hey, put your loot down. Put that loot down. What do you have, Medieval Pete?
Not your wooden leg.
How are the beers in the medieval?
Channeling Medieval Pete.
The beers today are much better. The beers today are much better than they were back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Tell us how, Pete.
Well, it just tastes better, Big is.
Yeah, he's that guy.
You're not gonna hang out for the Juan Rojo and the Tickle Snake podcast. Juan Rojo and the Tickle Snake.
Yeah.
All right, well, welcome back. Thanks a lot for joining us for episode number 35, where we're going to talk about tasting and evaluating homebrew. Pete, what's that face you're making over there?
I think you were a little loud. Just about blew my microphone ears off the pedestal stand.
And you've got a hat on, too.
I do have a hat on. Yes,
Is it better now?
I don't know. Say something, B. Randon.
All right, so basically what we want to talk about today
No,
is...
that's still too loud.
It's a little loud.
Yeah.
You want to start this over again?
No, I just want you to not
I've been
to talk
talking
so
the whole
loud.
time, man.
No, you haven't. You've been quiet, except momentary lapses of reason and otherwise gestures and snickering while I'm over here trying to do my intro. But that's okay.
Wow.
Because I love you, man.
Well, I'll turn you down a little bit. So
is
maybe...
that better?
Oh, yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to bring it back? And
Yep.
No, I think
It's okay.
Yeah.
Just going to leave all this in
Yeah,
there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Okay.
Ambience.
All right, so basically what we're going to talk about today is it really, in my opinion, tasting homebrew is a completely different thing than tasting commercial beer. When you're tasting a commercial beer, someone hands it to you.
Well, let's just go back.
Yeah, he's like talking like he knows something.
He's like, okay, so let's get right started because I got a lot of shit to say. I'm not going to talk about the shit store next door because the shit store's really smelly. And so, we're really trying to keep up.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Just
Oh, man.
yeah, just turn it down. Turn B. Randon down just a little bit.
It's not my fault if the level's wrong. I don't set the levels.
I'm not.
Okay.
You
But
know,
you're,
mad.
you're lashing out at me
I'm
a
not
lot.
mad at you.
You seem like you're mad at me.
Yeah.
Like your face is
way
all
out.
mad. Like your face is all mad.
Is my face
Is
like
the
red?
thing, yeah.
Like, is it like?
Now, why the hell is yours louder than everybody else's? I don't get that.
Stubby gets
I
it.
hear you now.
That's not a bad thing.
Wait, talk in your
Do your radio voice.
do your
my radio voice?
your authoritative. I've got something to say voice, just like you did a minute ago.
I feel like I'm on the spot now. Dude. I don't know. Basically, the reason we wanted to talk about this was...
Oh shit, that's
Is
still
that
loud.
right?
That's
How do you yours loud?
Wait, is it your headphones?
You're still recording all this.
standing behind me for, bro?
Normal voice. I didn't get ready to talk about something really important, and you're like this.
Why don't you turn his headphones down just a little bit?
No, because I won't be able to hear Mikey and then Stubby whenever he's got something to say. And I'll let you know,
It's only Brandon that's really loud?
yeah, I don't know
Brandon
why.
is a little loud.
Thank you, Mikey.
All right, is that better right there? Just move the mic away from my face a little bit.
No, because you're just going to
No,
get right up
just-
on it later.
You want him to get right up on it.
Yeah. Okay, is that better right there?
Yeah.
All right.
You didn't do anything different.
Sensitive.
Nobody did anything different just then, did they?
Jeez.
Okay. I see this. It's all me, right?
Yeah.
It's all
It's
me.
the placebo effect.
Well,
Placebo.
you guys out there really that don't know, we've got some new equipment we're toying with, so
Oh, he really is going to leave this in.
yeah.
Huh?
So,
Oh, wow, you're going to have
Somebody needs to drop an
There's
F-bomb
a-
here.
oh, there is F-bombs
Yeah,
already.
there's a
so-
lot of bleeping going on there.
Okay.
Kid is it's an exaggerated example of a flavor. So like if something was just absolutely overwhelming flavor in a beer, that one particular thing, because we put it in what, like Coors Light? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you-
there's like no beer
Yeah.
flavor underneath it. It's just it's
that,
just like a minimal amount of beer.
Excuse me, Brandon. Is that what you would call the turd in the punch bowl? It's that turd in the punch bowl. What is it that makes this just like a turd in a punch bowl?
Who let
I don't know how to
here?
answer that. I don't know.
Because I'm just thinking that if there's one bad thing about that punch, there's a turd in it. That's what the problem is, and I'm thinking that these here things that you're talking about are going to make this just explode in somebody's face.
An exploding turd?
No, well, maybe, but just
Exploding
maybe
turd.
like a bad experience at Poncho's or something.
Raise the flag, baby.
Raise the
the
flag.
flag.
Raise the flag.
I believe
I
we
don't
may
know.
have jumped the
We have jumped the
metaphorical
shark.
shark here.
Yes. The shark.
The proverbial shark. Yes.
That's when you're at Poncho's and you raise the white flag.
Wow.
Sweet Jesus.
Pete has gone there.
Is there even Poncho's around anymore?
I don't even know.
I don't
But
have any idea what you're talking
no,
about.
No, it's
You
down.
don't know what Poncho's
I
is?
really hope that Poncho's is not listening because
Yeah, they moved, but they're still there.
Okay.
Poncho's is
Down on Granbury?
the worst Mexican food you put
It's
in
like
your
the
mouth.
worst, best Mexican food ever.
And it's like
So
all you
good.
can eat for like $5.99.
Oh my God!
I'm not sure if our lawyers are going to have a field day with this, but
You just raise a flag and they bring you more food. It's amazing.
Possibly.
You raise a flag?
Yeah, there's a little Mexican flag you put on the table. It's so great.
Well,
raise the flag.
It is awful, dude. Don't listen to him. It
so
tastes
good.
like the Mexican food you had
So
in elementary cafeteria.
It's Chalupa Day. Everybody's all excited. Yeah, you get there and it's just like a diaper full of Indian food.
Diaper full of Indian food.
Brandon, you've got to go.
it's like a drive-by by a shit Chevrolet.
You're not making a convincing
Old
case. I gotta tell
Granbury
you.
Road. Yeah, it's amazing.
So good. Amazing is not necessarily a good thing. I've been amazed at a lot of things that were not good.
I was amazed at how much I shit my pants later on. I'm just saying.
It's like anything.
Kind of like drinking a lot of homebrew.
I don't know about you guys, but the last time I was at Poncho's, I shit my pants like a pet monkey all day long. It was in the afternoon. I shit my pants till like 7:30. Oh my God! I was on the toilet and I.
Can we get back to this pet monkey thing real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, you have a pet monkey?
Sure. Well, no, but if any of you guys have ever been to the Fort Worth Zoo, how many of you guys have been to Fort Worth Zoo, or maybe any zoo around here in this area? Have you ever gone up to the Have you ever gone up to the monkey cage and walked up there and said, "Hey, look, there's a monkey. He's eating a banana. He's hanging from a, little something up there in a
Where the hell's he
tree."
going with this?
And all of a sudden, the monkey jumps down and he walks up to the cage. He's like, "Hey, look, I'm a monkey." And he reaches back there under his buttocks and he grabs a big old pile of shit and he throws it at you right on the goddamn glass. And you're like, "Oh my God, he just shit all over the screen there, all over the goddamn."
Is he channeling Johnny Red? Did we have a Ouija board during the break or something?
What the hell is happening?
Yeah, I'm very confused.
And then you're looking at this monkey going, "God dang, I'm so glad he's not a pet monkey."
I'm not sure that tied anything together.
Because if he was your pet monkey and he walked up to you and grabbed a big old handful of shit and threw it in your face, he wouldn't be your pet monkey very long, would he?
I'm still not sure that tied anything together.
Would not be your pet monkey very long.
Brandon,
I'm very
do you
confused.
have a comment on this?
I'm very confused and I'm uncomfortable and I feel funny in my pants.
Is it because you have a pet monkey in your pants?
No, it's not. Not according to the description of what a pet monkey is.
Would you like one, Brandon?
No, I want anything to do with the monkeys you're talking about. Nothing.
You want to touch my monkey?
All right. So
that went so far off the rails.
Oh, dude. I loved it.
Like he was in a different county. From
I still listen to that, man, and laugh my ass off.
I
It is
do
so
too.
funny.
And I remember you texting me and going, "Man, that was really good." And I thought, I don't know how that could possibly be good. And then I listened to it again. And I thought that was really good. It was funny.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, some people may go, "Man, these guys are a bunch of idiots," but to me, that was funny. Especially the diaper full of Indian food. Where the hell did that come from?
The diaper of Indian food, yeah.
It's like, hey, it's Chalupa Day.
You don't remember Chalupa Day?
It's a diaper full of Indian food?
Oh, yeah, that's a school cafeteria chalupa in a nutshell, really.
So I got to ask you, Pete, how's your pet monkey doing? Oh,
so, we have had some emails from listeners before asking us to tone down some jokes and things like that. And it's something that every time we hear it, we kind of discuss it and we do take it seriously. But to me, I don't know, that's just too much fun.
Well, and that's the thing is we're not going to make everybody happy. There's going to be some people that really like what we have, and then there's some people that think we're a bunch of idiots, and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I think that one of the things that I think is appealing to our show from what the people that I've talked to, and which is a pretty amazing phenomenon because of a bunch of drunk idiots, talking about home brewing. It amazes me when I go out of town and I go to a homebrew festival somewhere else and they see my shirt and they come up to me and ask me immediately, "Am I on the podcast?" And so
Bitch, I run the podcast.
I immediately say
own
no.
that shit.
Listen, do not ever make direct eye contact with me, all right?
I was at work, and I work at a pediatric urgent care, and parents come in, I check them in, they walk around the corner, go back to her room.
Do you check them out, too?
A few minutes later, the dad walks up, he goes, I know where I know you from. You're on the podcast, right? Come and brew it? It's like, yeah, sure. Like, y'all are great. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm on the podcast.
Now let's talk about your hurt kid. No, let's talk about
Now you have some guy come up and punch you in the face.
Children?
Say shit about Arkansas again, Brandon.
Well, that was funny. You guys had that guy.
Yeah,
you had
Bones.
Bones come up to me at the
Bones, yeah.
at the
I thought you said
Blue Bonnet Brew
buns, buns or something.
Buns?
Bones.
Bones.
I don't know. Have you
his name
looked
was
recently? Do we
Buns.
have
He
any
came up to
Arkansas
me.
listeners anymore? Or did we scare all 4 of them off?
Oh yeah. Well, there's only 4 of them that have computers.
There you go. There you go.
You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about?
See, Brandon, you bring this out.
You started it, B. Randon.
Well,
You
he told me
started
they
it.
only had 4 computers in Arkansas.
Yeah.
He did say that at the break.
Yes, I think
No,
he did.
you see.
But they all share a dial-up
and that's what I'm talking
And
about.
that the toothbrush was invented there because if it was invented
Y'all-
anywhere else, they would have called it a teeth brush.
Y'all have just taken this as a free pass. You could say anything you want and just be like, it was Brandon.
Well,
I think
yeah.
quotes are fair game.
I say nay. Nay.
Oh, nay, nay.
Oh man. Well, but that's that's been kind of the fun stuff about this show, and we all have our own little shtick too, like we all tell J. Roy to eat a bag of dicks.
Eat a bag of dicks.
Eat a bag of dicks, J.
We
Roy.
had customers come in asking for him so they could tell him to eat.
Hey,
I know.
I got something that's you guys will think it's funny, but
A bag of dicks?
Is
well,
it?
At my current employment, the sales manager comes into the shop and buys stuff, and he always asks Austin, "Hey, is there anything you want me to tell Jared?" And he's like, "Yeah, tell him to eat a bag of dicks." So he promptly comes back to the brewery and says, "Hey, Jared, eat a bag of dicks," and just walks off.
Awesome.
He does that frequently.
Yeah.
He constantly tells me to eat a bag of dicks now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that.
Love you, man.
So that kind of brings us up to current day, and kind of where are we at right now? Gretel,
Gretel,
put some stats
Gregorian.
on here. We currently have over 215,000 downloads, and we're in 40 countries?
40 plus countries.
40
yeah.
plus
Total
countries
downloads so
nationwide.
far is
And
that
Canada.
consistent?
That's how much
In
this
Canada,
episode
yes.
is going to get downloaded.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Eventually.
I feel like we've helped some people brew some better beer. That's the feedback we've gotten from people. I feel like being on the show has helped me be a better brewer.
I agree 100%.
You know what was really weird is I went back and listened to the episode we did on water treatments. And we were all really nervous about doing that one because we none of us have a scientific handle on it the way, like if you listen to John Palmer talk about it or something like that.
Who?
Where
John Palmer is.
Rosie Palmer.
But so we were nervous about doing it. We were real careful
You
about
mean
doing it.
Jamil?
No.
Well, he's the other guy, yeah.
Jamal.
Jay-Z and JP.
It's Jamil Palmer.
Jamil Palmer,
I think it was
yeah.
Jamil Palmer.
He's
John
Robert
Zanushek.
Palmer's brother.
But I actually went back and listened to that episode, and I listened to it and felt like I learned from it, even though I was listening to us talk.
You talk about it?
Yeah.
Are you
I
saying that
actually
you learned from you?
learned from me? Yeah. So
You taught yourself.
Genius.
Wow.
right.
You're so into yourself.
Right. So it's kind of odd the way we have to break things down here and look at them, step by step and kind of analytically and able to
Kind of like
to
in
be
a
able to-
macrocosm.
in a macrocosm, yes.
Yeah.
In a vacuum,
Yeah.
wrapped in an enigma.
You're so
Yeah.
smart, Brandon.
That almost sounded racial.
I feel like I'm being attacked all of a sudden.
Tell me about that water, please.
So no, but seriously,
That's me
I felt
standing
like
there with the
I
tag
listened
hammer.
to us talk about it and learned something from it, which I thought was kind of weird, since we were so nervous about doing that episode and wanting to try and get it right.
Yeah, it was
Not try to have another Sour Beer 101 on our hands.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, see, that was a problem. Sour Beer 101.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Greg.
It's Greg.
Can you hear me now?
It's G-Rig.
Hey, sorry about some of the audio
Oh, we've been able to
technical
hear you.
difficulties.
What's up?
Though they couldn't hear me. Though.
Oh, no.
Now we've got Redbeard behind the glass console there.
But thank you very much to
He's just
Greg
back there
for all the
pushing
work he
buttons.
did putting stuff together. You guys would have no idea how much work it is to get those clips together like that. It takes
how much alcohol.
I hate all of you now.
Hours.
I hate all of your voices.
I'm
and,
sure you do. I
It
hate
takes
myself.
like 2 or 3 minutes a day, and that's all he has to do.
Yes, 2 or 3 minutes of
He has
listening.
nothing to do during
Nothing
the
at
day.
all.
It was really rough, guys. You guys are welcome for all that work I did on this podcast.
Well, I'd like to say I'm happy
Jared,
that
eat a
Jared's
bag of
here
dicks.
tonight, actually.
Yeah, me too. That was one of
I
the
tried to get
things-
Jimmy here tonight as well to have like the full round out of everybody who was here from the beginning.
The original shows, yeah. When I listened to those, I thought that it's too bad that Jared and Jimmy aren't on the show more because I thought they were really good. And I feel like we ran Jared off.
Really,
by
I
being
feel
mean
like
to
it's
him.
bad that Jimmy's not here. I know.
Jared just got a job.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's like, what I meant to say was, I'm sad that Jimmy's not here, and I don't understand
I'm
why
sad that
Jared's
Jared's here.
And Jared, you can still eat a bag of dicks. I think that's
Thank
what
you.
he was trying to say.
Well, we'll always say that because that's a constant. But I'm glad that you're
But
back.
it's kind of
on.
like an I
Appreciate
love
it.
you, man.
Actually, I heard Stubby mention that he's going to be getting a display with those gummy bag of dicks in the store just for you.
Don't worry, I have some.
I bet
you
you
probably
do.
have a lot of them at this point.
I bet you do.
Giggles.
Oh,
We digress.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Listeners, if you want to send Jared any gifts, you can send a bag of dicks to Wild Acre Brewing Company here in Fort Worth, Texas.
What's the
attention
address,
yeah, here, I'll give you my boss's
Jared will
email.
mail
You don't
it.
even have to address it to him.
Just send it.
When it shows
They'll
up,
know.
they'll know who to give it to.
Yeah.
They'll know. Yeah.
It's Wild Acre Brewery.
John, no, just kidding.
We should
I almost
mention
did it.
Wild Acre. It's not one we've talked about here on the show, but it's one of those that if you get into the Fort Worth area, you really should go visit. It's a
Yeah, it's a
really
great
nice
brewery.
facility. They're putting out some great beer. I was just telling Jared before the show, the Pilsner they're putting out is
I
legit.
do like the
The
Pilsner.
IPA
That
he
is
brought
a
tonight.
really,
Yeah.
really
Pretty
good
tasty,
Pilsner.
and that's not even out yet. So
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's tap room only.
Is that what this one is?
Yeah, let me do.
Where is it?
That's our West Coast IPA, and that's tap room only. What I brought.
That's
What?
Yes, that's in the big growler. Yes, it's the West Coast.
Would you
IPA.
like some,
Yeah.
Mikey?
I've got some.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
like it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So
Glad we talked.
that's a tap room exclusive, and so is our Pilsner, and we're open 3 times a week. So Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
It's definitely worth stopping by. Really nice tap room, nice brewery, great beer. So go on by and see and ask for Jared.
Yeah, you can tell me to eat a bag of dicks. I
Right.
mean, if you're cool and you do run into me,
I
I'll
think that-
probably hook you up though.
I think
so.
that's actually
With
how
a
you
bag
can
of
get
dicks?
in. Instead of paying
Yes, with
the
a bag
fee
of
for the
dicks.
tour, you can bring a bag of dicks and they will let you in.
It's like the password. It's the passcode.
It's a Jared
like just
password,
walk
yeah.
up to the person working the door and be like, "Tell Jared to eat a bag of dicks."
Right this way, sir.
And then they lead you to the torture dungeon.
Right? Yeah.
Where they keep Jared?
in the pet
So
monkeys.
what is this list that we've got here? Are there more sound bites?
I think all the sound
we're
bites
out of
are-
sound bites.
Out of sound
I
bites?
wanted to have
Okay.
some more, but there's so much, and there was so little time.
Stay tuned for episode 200.
Yeah, no shit. We have basically. My thought was, when we think back about all that we've done so far, we've covered a lot of it with some of the high points and the kind of humor that we've had and things like that. And when you listen to the starting point of the show, the bumper kind of covers a little bit of everything that we do.
Yeah.
Stupid ass BS, and then full on everything we can do for customer service and learning. But man, since we started, we've had such a list of experts and professionals come in, and we've covered, this is 100 episodes, and we've covered such a broad range of home brewing and whatnot. And the cool thing is that, honestly, we get a lot of good feedback from our listeners. It really started to kick in after we'd had a few episodes under our belt. And the more that we put out there, the more people are asking questions. They're wanting to hear things, But I think, like from the beginning, when we had Rar and Martin House and Rabbit Hole, and these are guys that have repeat visited us with great information.
Yeah.
And they continue to make great beer that wins awards nationally, and people they have notoriety now, that kind of thing. And
well, yeah, I look over this list and I see some real high points. I think my favorite one was Lauren and Eric Salazar.
Oh, yeah.
New Belgium. I
Yeah,
had a really
absolutely.
good time on that one, and you really didn't have to do much. You just kind of ask some questions here and then,
Right.
let
Even
them go.
then,
and they're so accustomed to talking to people and presenting information in a way that's real approachable and helpful. That I really enjoyed the interview with them.
The Pedernales
Well-
guys, that was a highlight,
yes.
Yes. The thing I want to say about a lot of it is like I would.
What's the matter, Brandon?
I would have included more clips.
I feel like I'm missing something.
On a whole, I would have included more clips from some of these, but honestly, it'd be a lot better for you to go back and listen to it versus sitting through it here when it might not be quite the same as listening to the whole episode. So they're all out there on iTunes and Stitcher. And,
one that stuck out with me too. We had Nick Bigham on that one,
right,
where we were at RAR and we talked to a lot
That
about
was a lot of
yeast
fun.
counts and stuff. Then I listened to another interview, and Fritz Rahr thinks his name is Nick Bingham.
Bingham?
Yeah,
That's what, he did say that, didn't he?
Said
I remember
Nick
that.
Bingham. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like he's been working.
He's thinking of Ryan Bingham, like the country singer, I think.
Yeah.
Could happen.
He thinks a country
It is
singer
Bingham,
runs his
right?
lab.
Big ham.
I know. That's why
As
he
in a
hired
large
him.
Big ham.
ham hock.
a very large pig.
That's awesome.
Large pig thigh.
Speaking of the Salazars, that was pretty awesome. Like having them here.
Yes, it was.
And then doing that, like the whole sour symposium, and
Yeah.
I was pretty starstruck.
Perfect timing for that one.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very starstruck.
I had a ticket
Well,
and
I mean-
couldn't go.
And well, the thing is, like, what's cool is like Lauren Salazar is like really good with names, so like she like remembered my.
Yeah, that's what it was.
She remembered Dick.
She was like,
Oh,
she
bag
was
of
like,
dicks.
that guy, that Dick Pumpkin guy.
She was making a
And
note
then-
of what name she needed to put on the restraining order.
So, anyways,
You only drilled on her a little.
Screw you guys. I had a really good point, and now I'm just gonna sit over here and drink.
Because you forgot
Eat a
to
bag of dicks.
forgot your
Jared,
point.
you know how it goes when you're in here. It's just been too long. You got to keep working it, man.
But
Work the room, Jared. Work the room.
Kevin Lane is another one to bring up too. He's been in here 2 or 3 times, and
Right.
every time he's been in here, it has been a lot of very useful knowledge out of that
Exactly.
guy.
And you heard him in the
really,
bumper.
really knowledgeable. Yeah, he was there in that bumper.
Talking
at the
about
beginning.
homebrewing
Generally
for his,
brings some pretty
college
good
friends.
weed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Kevin. Yeah. What?
Yeah, we did some rails of crank together. It's pretty freaking sweet. Yeah.
Oh, the things that happen at the break.
Yeah. Stayed up for like 3 days.
Missed that episode.
Bagged a hooker. Okay, I'll stop.
Bag.
Shelby.
One
Trash
down
bag
bags.
or
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
Wait, can you get fired from the brewery?
No, that's Fermentus. Yeah.
Oh. Doesn't work at
No,
a
Jared
brewery.
probably could, though. Yes.
So where
They only got 2 of us. I mean, they can't fire me.
Where did you-
and now if they hire another brewer, then I'll get nervous. But
where,
they can't fire
where
me
did
now.
you, Jared? Where did you bury the bagged hooker?
Another one has been James Lalonde, who we've had on several
Right.
times. James is always just a fantastic guest. That dude, not only is he just a wealth of knowledge, but he is so eager to spend time teaching other people
Right.
about
Oh,
things.
absolutely.
I know me personally, he spent a lot of time teaching me things and working with me.
Right. And he has no ego about it. There's nothing.
None
It's
at
just
all,
all
no.
free flow information from James. You have a question, it's always good to answer. We still want to get him back more often. I mean, he's a very busy guy with family and whatnot too, but if anything, we want to try to still maybe have a show of our own for him.
Yeah.
To get out there, just to talk a short show that talks about things. That,
We're going to call it the Aggressive Drunk Hug Show.
and kissy face.
He's just a really
He
friendly
introduced
guy, okay?
the Hug Brews to
He's
us.
got to thank everybody he loves too, right?
That's
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
the bear hug of beer.
That was one of the fun interviews at Bluebonnet when we did the wandering video interviews, and
that Brandon doesn't really remember all so well.
I remember the beginning of them. Yeah, but that was the end
You
of a
did
long
awesome,
night.
Brandon. You did real awesome.
There was a lot going on that night, and I did not fall and bust my head open. So I'm ahead of.
That's right.
You're ahead of the curve on that.
Right? Yeah.
Good.
But he was so funny in that one because he just gets so fired up and enthusiastic about any of this stuff, home brewing, and he was he the director of Bluebonnet that year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, maybe I don't know about
Yeah.
that year, but
No.
This past
he
year,
has
yes,
this last
he
one.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the
last
Oh wait, the one
yeah,
you're
that
going
was
to
the
interview.
last
I'm
one.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did just a great job, and he was just so fired up that night to see everything come together so well. I hadn't. That was my first one I'd been to, but I thought he did a really, really good job with it. And so I always like having James Lalonde on. He's a good guy.
Segueing off that, when y'all had Michael Fairbrother on
Right.
at
Yeah,
Bluebonnet and his speech at Bluebonnet, and y'all talking to him in the room. Words that he said on the podcast actually felt like they changed my life. Just he said how can you do anything that you love part time?
Yeah, yeah, and you know what was cool about that. I had heard several interviews with him prior to that, and he didn't repeat anything I had ever heard before in that interview. Y'all did a really good job with him and got a lot of new information out of him.
Thanks. No, I mean, you know, when you try to do stuff, you just keep them off balance.
that was in the middle of
we gave him plenty of beer to start that one.
Well,
too,
yeah, I was going to say he had been rode hard and put away wet by the time y'all got him behind a microphone. If I remember correctly, everybody was a little rough around the edges for that one. He was in a hotel room that had been just absolutely defiled by Stubby, if I remember correctly.
Truth.
I mean,
nobody go in the bathroom.
You were like, "Oh, we're about to have an interview. I think I'll take a 30-minute shit and just destroy the whole hotel
complex.
room before Michael Fairbrother gets here."
The whole floor. Everybody evacuate.
I was like, he was just like setting me up for the deal. So I'll call you before I'm heading up.
We're going to go to Poncho's and then interview Michael Fairbrother.
Sends me a text and going, I'm coming up. And I'm like, I'm sitting on the pot.
When you get here, you're going to think someone died, but they didn't. We're all okay.
We've got lots of incense. It's going to be okay.
See, like for him, he was. It was unfortunate for him in that situation. Whereas, like in a lot of other times that we've been doing something, we had guests. You know, we caught him in like a lobby or a room off to the side somewhere. But no, for that one, it was like you're captive in the room with
in this awful room of death.
Do you remember that, Greg, when we were doing that interview with, who was it? Gordon Strong? Not Gordon Strong. Who was it? That guy. It's one of the guys in San Diego, and the guy keep walking back and forth with freaking spurs on.
Oh, that was Michigan. That was
okay.
I just lost his name. Damn it.
The guy that did Brew with Wheat, right?
Fred.
Stan Hieronymus?
No. Well, no.
Stan Hieronymus?
How can I hate that. I totally just went blank because you asked me.
No pressure.
Radical Brewing.
No pressure,
Great
Greg.
story.
Yeah. Who did Radical Brewing?
I thought Radical Brewing was.
I've brewed some Radical beers. You know,
Randy Mosier.
Mosier.
Yes, Randy Mosier. Thank you, Jared.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Randy on that one, and this guy kept walking back and forth with spurs on and a duster and all black. And this is Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we're like, what the is going on over there? We don't understand. We're from Texas, and we want to go over and just kick you.
Texas Nigel.
It was Nigel. Yeah.
It was Nigel.
Nigel's headed that route.
Look at me spurs. They jingle.
I'm just trying to sell some caterpillars.
Spurs that go jingle, jangle, jingle.
It's all
Right,
big
right.
equipment.
How you like me pointed boots? and me duster.
It's not as funny because he's not here.
So none of y'all are getting any beer from Nigel.
Yeah. Is he listening?
He's somewhere.
Plans for him.
Someone was making plans for Nigel.
Got about something about a micro penis or something like that. I'm really not sure.
Man, you sound rather crumpet, Pete.
Sometimes.
See, now we're getting into the inside jokes again that nobody knows anything about. You know, one of the other really
Nigel
ones I
apparently
really
does
like.
not have a micro penis from what he told us. So.
he repeated it several times. So it must be
How often do you believe what he tells you, though?
One of the great ones that we actually lost, I think, was Drew Beecham, right?
No.
Lost?
Didn't we record
Oh yeah,
that
we did
and
actually have
lost it.
And that's one too. Like Drew and Denny have been really good friends of the show, and we really appreciate everything they've given us because they did the video episodes originally. But when Drew was in town, he and Stubby sat down for I think 90 minutes of conversation that they both seemed to agree upon being a good conversation, and it vanished. So that would have been one of the ones, back in the day.
It was probably the single greatest conversation ever had
Could
by
have
two
been.
men in the history of conversation.
Could have been.
And it's gone.
About beer or anything else.
But he came to our homebrew club meeting that night too and talked for a long time. And
he rages, dude.
And that recording
He's
is lost
just-
also.
There wasn't one of that.
He's just one of the nicest guys you'll
I
ever
missed
meet,
all of that.
and
Right.
super, super knowledgeable, and just a really smart guy, and again, real gracious with his time.
And we have episodes on here. You can hear it. He was on with the cider making episode, and we've had both of them on for the Homebrewing All Stars book.
We did have him in cider.
Yes. Thank you, Mikey. Pointing out the obvious one.
Dope.
But I mean, outside of that, I mean, we've had a lot of. Those are the people we've had from around the country. Locally, though, I mean, if you think about it, we've had a lot of the stars of the DFW area and whatnot. I mean, like I said already, Rabbit Hole and whatnot. But we've also had like JB from the Acre. It's a distillery. You know, how often do you even get to hear distillery talk on a lot of these things? And this is a good qualified professional.
Well, and he used to be the head brewer at RAR.
At
too,
RAR,
so
yeah.
He's just very, very qualified guy, really knowledgeable. There was a lot of information in that episode. He was a really good interview. I'd love to have him on again. Yeah.
Had the guys from the collective come in more than once, and those have always been really great episodes. And they're still doing their own thing and really making it work out here with their sour beer program. And now James Harrington is part of that, and he's been on too.
Yeah.
Who we always made fun of. You've heard the running jokes on these things about sweatpants, and that's a part of that. And then, I mean, like, even down to like Keith Kilker, and that's one that brings it back to one thing that's been a common theme through a lot of our shows. Actually, since the first episode, is our anti-big beer approach and all the BS that goes on in the industry. Like Keith is definitely against that. If you read some of their stuff at Guadalupe Brewing Company, if you read a lot of what's going on with their feelings on things down there, he's right in line with us. And when everything started breaking loose and we started doing like our Clyde and Dale, you guys have seen those kind of things, and where we go with that. Yeah,
I think
we
they're
have
the
those
single
videos.
greatest pieces of internet cinema ever created, if I remember correctly. Is that how you remember it, Pete?
Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, just tell them what kind of sacrifices you
Yeah, we bleed for our art, literally. The Christmas episode one. Literally. I'm Brandon, literally. Literally, I'm Brandon. I'm bleeding, literally. No, but the Christmas episode going down the stairs, I hurt myself pretty good on that one.
I heard you got a pretty good rash.
That was an accident.
Well, I don't know that it was an accident. It just got out of hand, is what it was. It started
Never.
off good.
Pete
Yeah.
and Brandon together getting out of hand.
Actually, you mean I whipped your ass? Yes.
No, that's a different episode where I kicked your ass during the break.
No,
Remember that
well, you
one?
were
I think we have video
I think
of
you were
that, don't
getting
we?
back at me from whenever I whipped your ass at Christmas.
Yeah, if you want to get on Facebook, you can see the actual ass whipping. I'm just going to put the air quotes and there, you know. But
Brandon
It was
attacked
really a
me
lot more
during
of like
a podcast when I wasn't
slap
feeling
fight.
well.
Girly slap fight.
Started slapping at me, and
There
I
were no
was-
heart attacks.
One of us
so.
was a lot more girly than the other.
And Brandon apologizes
It was-
for that.
It was Pete.
I will say that during all the shoots of them falling down the stairs at my house, Brandon never complained about his arm until after the fact. But
Oh, he
I
could-
understand after the fact because I saw it.
I don't know that
He
I realized
cried
just
like
how
a
bad
little
it was
girl.
because it was really, really bad. The next day, my wife was pissed at me. It was
Like
was
most
one
of the time when you leave here and go home.
And
No, she's actually really
and
good
return.
about that. There's been one or two nights. There's been one or two nights where just as soon as I walk in the door, she can tell from the other room that I'm drunk.
I think it's like every time you've been out with us,
I smell pot.
you seem to get popped by being a jerk.
Too many pots.
No, my wife is cool. I don't have that problem.
Pete's gonna get everybody fired tonight.
Right? Yeah.
I'm gonna have to really start pumping this podcast as we all start doing it full time.
I think Pete's got an idea for a second podcast, is what it is. It's the
Yeah, the
come
one
and
that
smoke it or something.
Come and smoke it.
Hey, you know, you can also listen to me. I had a winemaking podcast on here.
You did.
That's true.
And you had the girls come on. We want to do
Yeah,
that
we-
one again too. The wives of homebrewers.
You should
and just the
introduce
girls'
yourself.
It was
perspective,
okay, but
so.
it was like girls.
You should introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
Susan and I jumped on at the Blue Bonnet podcast. We definitely want to do a wives and
That was
homebrewers.
fun.
That was
remember
really
that.
fun.
Well, you know, that was a weird one for me too because I asked you guys about it and then realized that you
'Cause it
brew,
was women
you brew
talking
more
and
than
he doesn't-
Austin, and Austin is actually the wife of the home brewer.
No,
And
no.
then I felt kind of sexist
No.
about it.
That is true. I
No,
would say so.
Oh, wow.
Austin brews more than me, but I am the last one to brew at our house.
Look, I think Austin might talk about brewing more than you,
Oh.
but that's about it.
Yeah, he does talk about brewing more than me. I make wine though. That's my thing. And cider. I'm gonna make cider this year and enter it in Blue Bonnet.
Cue, Mikey.
Please do.
Wait
Amy's
for
going to spend some time inside her?
Uh-huh.
it. There we go.
Wah, wah.
It's just not as much fun if you have to ask for it.
Does Austin have anything at the house that's like sitting in like a secondary, just like chilling in a closet?
He's got a mead right now that's been sitting forever.
He's got a
In a
pair.
bucket.
He's got a pair of lace panties too.
Yeah, that's funny. We've had Barrett Tillman on a few times, and he's a brewer over at
Deep Ellum.
Deep Ellum. He's doing their sour project, I think.
No, he's the head brewer now.
He's their head brewer now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But anyway, that was one of the things I just couldn't let that go. He was talking about all the different stuff he used to do, and he goes, "Yeah, at that point I was deep in cider." And I was like, did you just say that?
When he was working at Bishop Cider.
Yeah,
Actually, we let that one go.
No, I did not.
No, maybe not in your head, but if you listen to the episode,
really?
I was like, I can't believe we let that one get by there.
Roll clip
versus in the closet, things like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, still better
we
than,
could do an episode of jokes that were never funny to begin with, and we repeated 20 times. Yeah, that would be.
Wait, you mean like wood aging?
I think we have
Wood
like 3
aging?
episodes of that.
Yeah,
just on their own.
They're pretty funny in this room, though. I mean, we should hang out more, guys.
we were told that we were
Eat a bag of dicks, Jared.
So let's get on to what kind of content we've done that's been the most and the least popular, because that's an interesting one. There's a lot of times we do things that we think people are really going to like, and it just falls flat. And then there's other things that really seem to hit a chord with people.
That's why we like the input, and I think the input is what drove a lot of this. Like just brewing basics and terminology, that stuff. Everyone loves that, and we're just glad that we did it, because I think terminology is one that we just decided to do, versus just.
And it turned into a 2 or 3 episode thing,
yeah, multiple
too.
episodes, yeah.
And those were very well received.
Like spagging.
Spagging.
Sometimes you just got to spaz for a while.
I like to go out in my yard to spag.
Out there by
naked.
your
I like to do it in the garage.
naked by your car.
Yeah, not by the car.
By the
you got to do it
car.
in the yard.
But like all the terminology, the basics in general, I think have always been good. And then from there, it goes down to things like some of the brew tech, and honestly, Northeast IPAs. Anything that had anything to do with the hazy IPA was pretty popular as far as what we've had as far as downloads go.
I gotta say it's a subject that interests me too. I'm constantly trying that one and trying to figure out exactly what my opinion of it is, because I really still don't know. If there was any one thing that you could call a Northeast IPA, I'd have a much easier time having an opinion. But there's like 4 different things.
Brandon, I heard a clip earlier. You were bagging on cream ales, and now you liked them.
No, it said Northeast IPAs.
No, you said something about cream ales.
No,
a while
I
ago.
didn't.
You said, I hate cream ales.
I've
they
always
suck."
hated cream ale, yeah.
And then you told me you were drinking like Genesee, like nothing left.
Oh
and right.
yeah, that was out in Florida.
Drinking Genesee.
I think it was Genesee. Yeah, out in Florida.
You kept raving about how good it
Well,
was.
it was like $1.
That was Florida.
Yeah.
Cheap Floridian.
I know there's a bunch of like.
Come on, there's 3 kinds of beer. There's good beer, there's bad beer, and there's cheap beer.
Yeah. Right.
Also
In
free
Florida.
beer.
Right,
Well, that's whenever you were partying with those 2 dudes in that motel room, right?
Hey, was Kevin
That
there?
is true. That is
We
true.
had a poodle and an old jar of mustard.
I didn't hear
30
about
Mike
that.
and the boys.
I didn't hear about that.
Huh. Sounds like that might have gotten a little weird.
We pulled a soup kitchen.
I guarantee you that's funny only in this room.
Derailed.
Across the country right now, people are like, what?
No, man, but you're on vacation, you're at the beach, you're eating fried clams. They
You
have
see a
Genesee
couple
for
guys.
$1. You have Genesee for $1. All of a sudden, Genesee tastes pretty good.
I have no idea what Genesee is.
Cream ale.
Are we going to do this live feeding thing or not? Because I'm getting really drunk.
What?
That night you kept
Yeah.
texting me going,
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, you were gonna call.
He was hanging out with his buddies, drinking pretty hard, and finally we called him. He's like, "Let's go." I don't even know what's happening.
It was like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night by the time you called me.
You were in your sweatpants. I
It
remember.
was like 9. You were in your
No, I was
sweatpants.
out of my sweatpants by then.
No,
it started
balls
with
out.
sweatpants.
You're naked.
His friends were in
Oh,
their sweatpants.
naked.
Typical
I was
podcast
shoving it in
going
the
off
oven.
topic.
Yeah.
I had to get up, answer the phone. I had to put my underwear back on.
No, I didn't put my underwear back on.
Hey, let's just let Pete talk for the next hour, and we'll all just drink. All right, Pete.
But one of the topics that's always been good, and I think it's always fun for us to go back to too, is recipe development. And that to me is one of the things that it's a little bit hard to find specific information on, even in books that are supposed to be about it, that give you direct feedback on how to put a recipe together. And so those are always fun, I think. And I like when we have pro brewers on here and we come up with a recipe on the air. That's always fun.
Well, it's good to get in what mindset they're coming from. You know, I think a lot of times too, they're rigid.
Well, yeah, we did Shannon.
Shannon.
Brewing,
We did an actual recipe with
uh,
Shannon. We did an
Turning
actual
Point.
recipe with
most of
no.
the brewers that come in recently. We've done a recipe with.
Well,
even
we talked about a recipe with Turning Point. We didn't do an actual recipe.
Well, you know, we talked
even
about
our Russian brewer.
We did a recipe with.
So
we talked about the philosophy of coming up with a Northeast
Right.
IPA recipe with Turning Point. Who else did we do an exact?
Mike, you move over a
Cody
little
Martin.
bit.
With Cody Martin, we did the recipe for the big saison with grape must in it and all that, and that was a really fun
And see,
one.
that was one like for him to come in and talk, and he's totally out of style and everything. But talk about a good person to talk about recipe dev
Yes,
with is
absolutely.
a brewery that really is qualified for that, and continues to succeed with just continuing to change everything they do, which is very uncommon, you know, overall. So.
Right, and I've said it for a long time that they succeed where they should fail all
Right.
the time. Their beers should not be as good as they are
Right.
because they do so many crazy things.
And
all
for
the
people
time.
to keep returning,
Yeah.
that's really the
Yeah.
thing that's so hard. But they're nailing that, and it's like you don't see a lot of that out there, so that's a big plus on that. And to go with all of that, the same thing that goes with recipe dev was tasting, evaluation, the judging things that we do that lead into being able to make a good recipe in the first place.
Mhm.
You know, because it's not like you have to be a qualified judge and know how to score something. It's more about understanding the differences and everything to make that recipe in the first place and talk about what you want and where you want to take something, because you understand where I want to start, and then you have a good vocabulary and understanding to get to where you want to end.
Yeah,
So-
and you know, I think that's one of the things that people have a hard time with when they're talking about recipe development is that they don't start from the end and work backwards, which is really where it needs to be. You have to have an exact idea of what it is you want your beer to be and deconstruct it backwards from there. You've got to start with your ABV. You've got to start with your IBUs. Start with your malt
generally what
profile,
do
that
I
kind
want?
of thing.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's I think we've really spent a lot of time focusing on that. I mean, if you listen to all those episodes that are in any way related to that, and a lot of times the brewery episodes where we have a pro on, we try to hit that. You know, like Shannon specializes in Irish and Scottish stuff, and that's where we went with that with him. You know, Cody, outside the boundaries, definitely where we went with him.
Yeah, and both those beers were great beers, I thought, and we all came back with something
different, that
totally
was
different,
similar
from the
but
others.
different.
Yeah, we all took the same approach and came up with a different thing. I really like that. So that's something you'll see us do more of in the future because it's fun for us and the listeners all seem to like it. So.
Right. And again, too, you know, everything that we hear from y'all, that's what we're trying to work in. So, like our patrons right now, it's really nice to have a conversation with some of y'all to basically find out what you're really looking for out there, because I think what you're looking for is what everybody else is looking for too, you know, and if we're not thinking about it directly, it's nice to have that input so that we can give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised also by what were the least popular ones. When we've done 2 or 3 episodes on craft retail where we
Right.
have somebody who's either in charge of a large tap list craft beer bar come in or somebody who runs a bottle shop. You know, we had Crystal Heischen here who had her Sleepy Panther bottle shop.
Sadly gone.
And I've always thought that those were good guests, and it was interesting to hear that side of it because I think as beer drinkers we forget a lot of times that at the end of the day it all comes down to will the beer sell or will the beer not sell, you know, and how does that work and how does a brewery fit into trying to get its tap handle in amongst the other 40 or whatever that are in a bar,
Or
and,
how their beer's going to do on the shelf somewhere.
right, or on the shelf, yeah.
'Cause,
So
I mean,
that
seriously.
surprised me that was not an interesting topic for people.
It just doesn't seem to get the numbers of downloads that that the basics do. Maybe a certain brewery name of some kind seems to get things like the Grainfather. You know, that's more common knowledge. And I understand, like for anybody who's outside of the DFW area, you might think, well, I don't want to listen to something about a store in DFW. but that applies to pretty much every store,
Right.
And in the industry in general. When they talk about how they make that stuff work, because every state's beer laws are screwed, as far as what they can do, and that affects every brewery that's around you.
There's only a couple of them out there that have reasonable beer laws.
Right.
Most states have some stupid,
like 3 or 4
law.
out of all of them.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you think about what happens with some of those, what gets on their shelf has to, that's something we always have the conversation here too when we hear people talking about, I want to start a brewery. We all wanted that. We all wanted to do that, or we all want to in some form, but we know what it takes and how hard it is once you get out there, that your can of whatever, that one batch of brew that you made has to fight with the same version of and a bunch of other different styles on the shelf somewhere, and that's damn near impossible.
And
when
then
you think about
have
it.
to do it again
and again
and again.
Yeah,
with all
and
of the
always
different
be coming
cans.
up with something new too,
Yeah.
because that's really what it is. What's the newest thing?
Right. I still don't understand how we don't just have brew pubs out the ass
Right.
everywhere, because
I'm
all you
with
got
you
to
on
do is
that.
go to a brew pub and try a bunch of different shit, but at that brew pub.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And
on
eat
that
their
100%.
food, and it may be paired to that beer.
Right. Exactly. It's right into it.
It's
So.
really the.
Are you listening,
I think
brewers?
the best
Make brew pubs,
combination.
not breweries.
I agree. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
so one of the things I want to get to that you have listed here, which episode to skip, which is sour beer 101.
Out of all of them, there is definitely one episode to skip.
That's
what we really learned from that episode is that if we
We
have
don't know
something,
shit.
no, if we have something planned that we want to do,
Easy, bro.
but we can't get the right people in here for it, we don't do it anymore. Because for that one, we had 2 or 3 people that could have really, really helped with that conversation that just couldn't make it that night, and we just decided to go ahead with the subject anyway.
And get a little drunk.
And well, yeah, there's always
okay.
that.
I got a little drunk.
And so we ended up with some of us that kind of had a half-assed knowledge of the subject having to cover it, and we never did that again after that. And we were really lucky to have a couple people.
We did our follow-up correction episode with qualified experts.
Right. What was his name? Dan
Pixley from Milk the Funk.
From Milk the Funk contacted us, and he didn't say you guys are
Right
a bunch
on.
of assholes who don't know what you're talking about and what the hell is wrong with you. Instead, he said, here's some corrections of things that you talked
Right.
about, and if you'd like to have me on the show to go back over that stuff, we can.
Well, he didn't even really want to be on the show. He just wanted corrections and to help us with that. And I said, well, no, you need to be on the show.
I
And-
thought that was really cool of him. That's not
Absolutely.
normal in today's
Absolutely.
social media world for
Absolutely.
someone.
You're
to-
wrong.
Right.
You're
yeah.
wrong.
Instead, people.
You're wrong. That's it.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. I really appreciated him doing that. And when we went back and recovered it again, I thought there was a lot of really good information.
Right, and with
So-
him bringing in James Howitt from Black Project
Yeah,
Spontaneous,
yeah.
and like those guys, I think have won several GABF awards since that episode. So it's like if you're ever up in Denver, I think they're in Denver, right? They just make
They
sure you
are.
stop by
James
there.
Harrington was just posting some
Right.
pictures from
Yeah.
there when he was up there for GABF. So that's one of them that just like anything else, it's all a learning experience. Just like everyone out there is learning to brew better, we're learning to be radio hosts better. And that was a learning experience.
It
for
comes
us.
and goes.
you know.
Like every, I think almost everybody that's responded to us says, love what you do. Maybe you try to cover this before you guys get a little too invested or a little too loose in the last half of the show. Maybe
Yeah.
try to cover it first, those kind of things. So it's like, we're still learning.
I mean, obviously now we've reached the point of perfection. I mean, we've hit a pinnacle where we can't get any better, and
We
this
can only
is-
get worse.
Right.
And
So
we're
we
just
just need to
getting
ride
worse.
this
So
wave.
get back up again, right? You just
We're like
dive
golden
so you can
gods
get
of the
God.
radio, is what it is.
Okay.
If you think about
Good
it.
thing we're not on radio.
Yeah. Let's see here. Only guest not to drink anything at all during his visit was John Berger of Coolbot. I didn't know that.
He was here for like 5 minutes. And
No, he was here for most of the night,
Yeah.
or
He
at
never
least the
drank
first hour or
anything.
so, maybe more.
He was here for the first
obviously,
half.
obviously,
great
very,
guest.
very well hydrated before he came in.
But he had no beers whatsoever, and like I'm pretty sure every single other person who's been here has had,
It's half
even
the
not
reason to
off the
come here.
mic guests have had beers while they were here. So
Right?
not that that's a problem. Just the funniest one that I could point out that
But
like,
what-
he's the
what's
only
this one?
the most sober guest to leave.
The host who talks the most when they're drunk.
That would be me.
Who is
the
that?
asshole.
Oh, okay. Okay.
See, I don't agree with that. I feel like
I listened to
I'm
all those.
every bit as guilty of that
I
as
listened
you
to
are.
all those episodes,
Yeah.
the first, especially the first ones, and thought, "Oh shit!" God, I
I
hate
think
my
every
voice.
one of us has done that. You're just more sensitive because it's your voice. But
You're just too sensitive.
It's sensitive. It's so
He is a very
sensitive.
sensitive guy.
Maybe Mikey's the one who hasn't
Sensitive.
done that. You're the only one I don't think that has gone on some drunken rambling thing on the show.
Oh, he has.
I can
So
try.
now you have a goal.
I can try.
Yeah. Put that on your action.
You know,
items.
I did one about my dog and some
Not
peanut
saying
butter.
that you haven't misspoke or spoken out of turn or spoken over someone.
I
or-
do have that clip
or-
in there. It's just not an MP3
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I didn't know what we were doing. So
Well, because it's not cheating if it's your dog.
Yeah, and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Peanut butter between you.
Cheating if it's your dog?
Because it's your dog.
It's your dog.
I don't know that anybody was questioning whether or not it was cheating.
It's the quote from the movie.
Oh God!
Wait, but it's got to be your dog.
It's got to be your
Gotta
dog.
be your dog.
okay, all right.
If it's somebody else's dog, it's totally
It's
up
so
line.
weird that we're seeing him without a beard still.
I have a beard. It's just
barely.
Just no.
No,
Tiny-
that's
Who is
no,
that guy?
No,
You can't see it on camera because you're standing up.
No, whenever you went from what you had to what you had, that ain't no beard, bro. That is not no beard.
And he's got a goatee.
Ow! Boom!
So like half a beard.
Here comes the.
It's the soup catcher beard.
Yeah. It's
All
true.
right, so I think that's going to kind of bring us to the end here.
Yeah, thankfully.
I think maybe this episode was a little self-indulgent.
It is.
More for us than it is for you, but really, I
a
think
lot self-indulgent.
hopefully,
Mostly to have some fun. I mean,
hopefully
you know.
it encourages some of you
exactly.
to go back and listen to some episodes you may not have listened to. Go back to the earlier stuff.
Right,
I
right.
thought there was some really good stuff in
think
there. I was
there's-
pleasantly
yeah.
surprised how good it was.
I think there's some true greatness in there.
Yeah.
Not
There's
that, but
definitely
some
more
of that.
Pete in the early episodes, and
Well, I don't
we
know.
all want more Pete. So
Everybody loves more.
Everybody,
Peter.
everybody
in there.
needs a little Pete in their
except
life.
when it comes to Scotch ales.
exactly.
That's right.
But
You
no
don't
Pete
know
in
what
that.
you're saying.
Pete's
Oh,
good in
there it
everything.
is.
but
Talking about
Scotch
the
ales.
Scotch.
But yeah, I think that was really the key here is that, out of the things that we put out there, if you haven't listened to the earlier episodes, and they can be a little rough around the edges, but the whole point is that, there's still some good stuff there. I mean, when I went back and listened to it, and I was thinking, I really don't want to listen to these. I know how bad they are, and I listened. I thought, well, we didn't do as bad as I thought we did.
No.
Putting
The-
information out there more than anything. It's the information more than like how we delivered it.
Maybe there was more content there than perfection as far as the
Right.
production and so forth.
And
Yes.
there's some things we need to go back and revisit.
We still have production
There-
problems. So.
The brew in a bag thing is something that has changed a lot since we
Right,
started the
right.
show. We need to revisit that.
We are going to revisit
sour
that.
beer. You can always go back to more and get back and more in depth into that. So we
Right.
can do that. We'll probably do an episode devoted entirely to figuring out what's wrong with Pete.
That's true. That's true.
That's going to take more than one episode, actually.
That might be a recurring series.
That's like a seasonal show right
Yeah,
there.
right.
I feel
for
pretty
years.
good right now.
But
So please make sure to go to patreon.com. Go to patreon.com/comeandbrewit radio to help support the show. We have $2, $5, $10, and $20 options because every little bit counts. Plus, we want to reward you while you help keep the show going, get involved, and improve it. So thanks again for listening to Come and Brew It Radio. Be sure to share with your friends on social media. Give us some ratings on iTunes and Stitcher. And send any ideas or comments to info@texasbrewinginc.com. Also, you can always check in on the brew days of their guys at the Brew Focus Facebook pages at Brew with Stubby, Brew with Brando, Brew with Mikey B, Brew with Pete, Brew with Chris, and Brew with Greg.
And brew with your mama.
So here's to another 100
I
great
need to do that.
episodes.
Put a picture up.
And come and brew it.
Come and brew it.
Come and brew it.
J. Royd, where are you?
What did y'all blow up in there?
They're in there farting.
You're coming quickly. I'm sure they said that loud.
in the back.
Hey, make sure to save that.
No, don't shut the door.
Hey,
We'll
make sure
just
to save
talk
that
real
as
loud.
one-
No big deal.
Good job.
I don't know how well received that episode's going to be, but it was fun.
Well, let's just say this: the holidays one was more popular than I thought it would be.